So basically, there is this show on this YouTube channel called Awkward Virgo TV, and it is called The Comic Shop. And it is a comic shop owned by a black woman and a black man named Keith, and I believe Jessica. I might be tripping. Okay, it's Jessica. And it is probably...
No, Stephanie.
Stephanie. I am so sorry. Stephanie. And it is so funny. So funny. Like, this show should be on television. It is very well, like, made, very well choreographed, too. And even the camera angles are just like The Office and everything. But it has a lot of energy, a lot of really good jokes, a lot of very well put guest stars, too. And I really liked it.
Yeah.
But I'm trying to think of what else to put on this. Like, I just think that it's a very good web series. Like, it came out of, like, my friend Tyler right there told me about it, and I was like, I'm gonna watch it. And I'm very glad I watched this. And it's also 6 episodes.
It's
so
short.
It's easy to watch.
It's short. And what's really important is I think it's super easy to watch because it's just on YouTube. Everyone has YouTube. If you don't have YouTube, how are you watching this? Spotify.
Oh, yeah.
But it's super easy to watch. And I think it's what makes it really good and I think easy to watch is the kind of TV it is.
Yeah.
It's a workplace comedy. Who hasn't seen The Office? Who hasn't seen Parks and Rec? Who hasn't seen all these shows that we've seen so many times? It's very easy to watch.
Oh,
and
yeah.
the episodes are 14 minutes. One episode being 12 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not that long either. It's not a super big time commitment. Here's my take.
Yeah.
I liked it. I didn't love it.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was good. I really enjoyed it. And I actually really appreciated the quality of it.
Oh, yeah.
Super high quality, actually. Like, everyone that was working on this knew what they were doing.
Mm-hmm.
They knew how to produce a show like this, and they made it work great. Honestly, I think there just wasn't a lot of laugh out loud moments for me, where I was just like, man, like, it's probably not in that space. But for what it is, deeply impressed with what they were able to make, because it's fantastic. And I recommend everyone watch it because, again, easy to watch, and let's lift up some people that are doing some really cool stuff, because they're doing some really, really, really cool stuff.
I'm not gonna lie, man. I had a lot of laugh out loud moments. Like,
Can you hit me with some?
That first episode, like when they're trying to work out like how this is all gonna work out with the the special, because this episode, it was obviously the pilot, but they were doing a special type of opening with
Free Comic Book Day.
It was Free Comic Book
Which is
Day.
a very real day, if you didn't know that.
I didn't know
That's
about
a very
that.
real day, yeah.
But they had a guest star coming, or not a guest star, but a famous comic book writer coming. And the way, I believe they were coming late, and they were trying to figure out how to keep these people going, because at this point, they're not really profiting off of just being their own store. So Keith is my favorite part of that episode, because everything he's trying to do, I think he's the one who brings the energy, same with Connor.
Yeah.
Because those two together,
They're
I thought
so
it was going to
funny.
be those two as a dynamic duo the whole time. It turned out to be everyone, but that episode, like going outside and them starting to rap and everybody's booing them, and then they're still trying to keep the crowd there, and then somebody throws something at Keith, and he's like, "Ha, you missed!" And then when he finally gets hit, he goes, "Oof!" I laughed out loud at that part, because the way, like, you know, it could have just been like it hits him and it just goes, "Ow," or something, but it hits him and he just falls over, and I'm like, okay, I like that.
Yeah.
I liked it a lot. Another moment, just off the top of my head, was when Dave is coming in, and this is just at the top of my head because I finished it, but Dave, the worker in the last episode, comes in, and Connor, just out of the blue, he's one of my favorite characters in the show, Keith and Connor, but he just goes up and he's like, "I'm gonna make you my," and I was
That
like,
was so funny.
I was like, that came out of nowhere.
That one got me. That one I started laughing. I was like, that's a good
Because the whole show, he says some out of pocket stuff, but I'm like, that's just random.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't expect him to say that. And then I forgot the name of the one woman.
Dominique.
I love Dominique.
I like
I just love all of them. Like, they're so funny. But her even going up, and even that one phrase she said when they are, I believe it was the Comic Thief episode, when Keith says he's gonna lock it down, and then Connor said, Dominique comes up and she's like, "I'll be your Nightwing, but also I'll be the one with the surprisingly fat." And I died when she said that, and then everybody's looking at her awkward, and then she looks at the camera saying that too, and I'm like, and then when Connor says he's gonna be the Joker, and he makes a really funny, nice impression, yeah, exactly.
Connor got me.
That was
really
funny, bro. Connor's funny out of the blue,
He's
though.
just weird, and I think that's why I liked him. And that's where I wanted to get into my favorite episode is the D&D episode.
Oh,
because
my gosh.
I think So I think a lot of the humor didn't work for me in most instances because I just didn't like connect with a lot of it. Like Connor has a line in I think the first episode when he says, "Look, I'm not trying to be sexist. I just don't think Wonder Woman can lead her own movie." And I'm like, "That's hilarious. That's a funny line." And like when he calls Dave his B, that made me laugh too. I was like, "Good humor, whatever." The D&D episode I thought was such a good episode because of just, I guess, how much I related to it. Like the entire time, like the people sitting at the table being on nerds and like everyone just being like, especially Stephanie just being like, dude, like, what is this? This is so dumb. I'm like, I'm not her, I'm the nerds. And the way they're talking, they're like, a scaly, how could you say that to me? He's a dragonborn. I'm like, perfect humor. That's hilarious. That's for me. And that episode, I think is also the shortest episode.
I think so.
Probably my favorite episode, hands down. Thought that episode was really good, and I thought the final episode was super good too with Dave. I thought it was a really funny episode.
Oh yeah, I really did. But I'm not gonna lie, man. The energy that this show gave me, I like way more, and I thought it was much better than the paper.
Yeah,
I'm gonna be for real.
Yeah,
like I thought it was much better than the paper, and I think that's the type of thing. Like at least with me personally, what I want to look for in a show is if you're gonna be like. You said a mockumentary?
Yeah.
I think it needs to come out with that type of energy. It needs to be very like random, very like, because we saw it's a comic shop, and obviously comic shops are gonna sell comics, but I want to know more about these characters. And with the paper, I mean, I liked it, I did, but I didn't love it because it was very mellow, very like we're gonna build out these characters and then we're gonna probably give you more energy later. I think this one going straight into we got 6 episodes. What's the craziest stuff we do? And that's exactly what they did with these 6 episodes. I loved.
I think what's so interesting is I think the paper and the show are like two opposites to each other. And I think both have like a really interesting, they have a really interesting difference. The paper, I feel like their characters are super mellow and they don't have strong personalities. I think most characters in the show did not have a strong personality at all. I think they're very normal people.
Yeah.
Which is kind of what The Office was too.
Oh, yeah.
But I think The Office had a little bit more creativity with it.
But that's what made The Office so good.
Like
though,
you had a Michael
blue.
Scott and you had a Dwight. Paper didn't really have that. The comic shop, all the characters have such strong personalities. Very strong personalities. Like you know what kind of person that is just by like listening to them talk for a minute, I think my gripe with it, and I think you like it because of it, is the show moves really fast.
Yes.
To me, that was starting to bug me a little bit.
Oh, for
and
real?
It was just, I was getting overwhelmed watching. I was like, all right, like we need to like slow down. I want to live in some of the jokes a little bit more. I don't want to just keep cutting and cutting and cutting. And I think that's just a runtime thing. I think it also might just be the way it's written, the way their humor works. It's not completely for me, but when it does have those one-liners and they hit, you're right, they do hit. So I really appreciated the show, and I think it's great. And I'll 100% watch the second season, for sure.
I also like the guest stars.
Oh, yeah.
Like, in the first 2 episodes, I think we were talking about it before, because there was, remember Stephanie's ex-girlfriend?
Yes.
She actually, I recognize her from another show, and I hope I'm right, but I think she was in Riverdale.
She is in Riverdale, yeah.
She was one of the Josie and the Pussycats?
I don't know for sure, but I just saw her. She's on Riverdale.
Okay, then definitely she was one of the Pussycats in Riverdale. And I thought she was cool because, Josie and the Pussycats, I used to watch, like, the cartoon, a little bit of it, when it was on Boomerang. And so when Riverdale was incorporating that in, I thought that was cool. And I like how they gave different arcs. So she plays one of the characters who starts dating Archie, and they gave her a pretty cool arc. And they made her like super interesting. And I seeing her again pop up, because she was very chill and mellow in Riverdale. Having her come in here being the insane girlfriend who's trying to like mess with, or ex-girlfriend who's trying to mess with Stephanie's business, I thought was insanely funny whenever she pop up.
Yeah.
That's probably another reason why I like the first episode so much, because she just pop up out of nowhere and be like, oh, you're failing? Good. That's how I want it to be. And I was like,
I think another really big one was the last episode with Carrie Payton, the guy that plays.
Oh, yeah.
The guy that plays Cyborg.
I knew it!
Black Samson.
I knew it!
I picked it up immediately. His voice is so distinct.
Exactly.
Where I was just like, is that Cyborg? And then I looked, I was like, yeah, cool. Black Samson on the Invincible too. Like, really cool to have him in it. A character, an actor I would have never expected.
Exactly.
To be in a show, because he's just like, he's so big, but it makes so much sense when you find out that Zeno Robinson, who plays Keith, also voices Hawks on My Hero Academia,
so
and is a very
nuts.
prominent voice actor. I picked that up in the second episode where he was talking, and I'm like, I know that voice. Who is that? Does this show have an IMDb page? And I was like looking, and I'm like, wait, okay. Oh my gosh, yeah, that makes so much sense. It clicks. Another big actor who's in it, Raul Coley, which was weird and insane. I was like, what are you doing here? And a niche one. Watch this. Ready? I'm gonna get super cool. Ready? A niche like famous person that was in the comic book shop is Alana Pierce. Alana, journalist.
Wait, Alana Pierce. Oh, my bad. I thought you were talking about somebody else.
Journalist on IGN, then became her own content creator. Most recently has gone into directing and acting in some video games. Specifically, she was recently in Dispatch. She plays the demon lady Malevola. Seeing her in this show caught me so off guard because I was like, what the heck are you doing here? I was watching this at like, and I don't mean that about it. I mean that the best way possible. It's like 12 a.m. and I'm like watching this and I'm like, what the heck? Like, what is that? And then she talks and I'm like, yep, that's Alana. What the heck? That's so cool. I've been watching Alana, not forever. She pops up in a lot of podcasts I watch, so I've listened to her talk so many times. So it's just a really cool thing. But yeah, genuinely surprised. And there's probably some other famous people we don't even know. But I thought that was really cool that they just had all these special guests.
I thought this was impressive.
Yeah.
I thought this was very well done. And I can't wait, just like you, I can't wait for season 2, but...
Someone buy this show. Someone give them money.
Really, please. This was good. This was a very good idea, and I hope they get like 5 or 6 seasons, maybe more after that, but I think this could turn into something.
Yeah, I think there's 100% potential for it to like be on a streaming platform. Like, this
1000%.
has that energy, I think. Like, even if it's not for everyone, I think, like, a good chunk of people would enjoy not only style, because I think it's super easy to get into, but also comic books, man. I want more comic book jokes, though. I want more comic book jokes.
I thought they did a pretty decent job.
I mean, there's a good few, but I think I was just expecting way more, and I'm like, I want more. I want more of my humor. Get that in there, you know? Throw it in there. Because when they did make the jokes, I was laughing. I was like, that's a good joke. Again, the Wonder Woman comment was hilarious.
I like the show a lot.
Yeah. Really good show. Really enjoyed it. Did a great job, guys. Keep killing it. Do we know when the second season comes out?
No, I don't think so. But I mean, they're working on it. So I mean,
Take your time.
They told us.
Take your time. Do your thing. It came out this year, so I doubt it will be, or not this year technically. 4 months ago, right? Something like that. 5 months?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd say 4 months.
Yeah. So there you go. Watch the comic shop. Super easy to watch, and you'll have a great time. At the very least, you'll have a really good time. So highly recommend watching it on HBO Max. It's an HBO original. It's called Rooster. With Steve You watched it too?
Yes,
no way! Oh my gosh! We did not talk about that at all.
We didn't say a word.
That's so funny.
That's
really?
I literally was gonna try to put you on. I was gonna be like, hey, I need you to watch this. All right,
dude.
go
Okay,
ahead.
let me tell you my story. So last night, it's late at night. I'm like, I'm gonna watch Baby Daddy because I want an easy sitcom. I'm finishing Baby Daddy again. I hadn't seen it since I was a wee lad, so I was like, let's try and finish it. I'm on season 3. I love Baby Daddy, by the way. Creator of Hannah Montana. Fun fact. And it's really good. But if I remember when I was a kid, it gets randomly canceled on the 6th season, and it kind of ends on a cliffhanger, and that's the worst thing ever. Have you seen Baby Daddy?
I have not.
It's fantastic. Anyways.
I thought you were talking about the movie. I was like laughing. My bad.
Anyways, so I was like, I started it. I watched 2 minutes, and I was like, no. Hold on. I keep getting this ad for this show called Rooster.
Yep.
And there's a lot of positive buzz about it. People are saying it's hilarious. Steve Carell's the funniest he's ever been. Blah, blah, blah. All right. We'll see if he's funnier than he is in The Office. Okay. So I watched the first episode of Rooster, expecting multiple, but it actually ended up just being the first episode.
Yep.
Okay. And I liked it.
Yep.
I really liked it. If you don't know what Rooster is about Steve Carell's character, Greg, who goes to a college campus to read his book to a classroom, right? But really, it's so that he can check on his daughter who recently got into a divorce, okay? That's the premise. That's it. That's all you need to know about the show. It's pretty funny.
It really is.
Is it the funniest Steve Carell's ever been? I don't know yet. It's 1 episode, 30 minutes. I can't tell you if that's true or not. But I can tell you there is a quality to it. There is a humor to it that I really much enjoy. It's definitely me humor.
I knew it.
It's that like awkward, like smart comments whenever anyone says anything stupid kind of humor that I just like I eat up. I think it's the funniest thing ever. I'm trying to think of what else. The cast seems great so far. Everyone is just doing a pretty decent job. What I'm super curious about is to see if the creator made Ted Lasso and The Shrinking, which neither shows I've ever seen, but I know I'd love. And oh, really? Is it Scrubs too? I just started watching Scrubs, so that's funny. I mean, I barely started. I'm not gonna talk about Scrubs today because I barely watched the first episode. Anyways, that's funny. I didn't know that. From what I understand in his track record, is he's able to be very funny while also being pretty deep.
Yeah.
That is just a very common theme. I'm curious to see how this show, like I want to see how this show gets to that. Because right now the first episode, like it's not doing that. It is just very funny, has some good bits, but I'm enjoying it and I will be there every Sunday to watch this because it's awesome. And I started an ad for it. I'm so sorry. There you go.
No, you're good.
Yeah.
I really like the show.
Yeah.
I really do so far. Like once again, just like you, there's I don't know how many episodes are gonna be in this. 8,
10.
10, 12?
10.
Oh, 10? That's perfect.
Oh, it's 9? No, it's 10. I have 10 on here unless it got renewed. Let me check.
Okay. Well.
Yeah, 10.
Oh, it
10.
shows 10. Okay.
Yeah.
So if there's 10 episodes, that's perfect. But that first episode was pretty. Like that was a very good opening.
Yeah.
Like, to the show. Like that scene where he's just like I was talking to Tyler about it. Goes over. He's following this kid down to this one spot, and then he sees this wet dude like running on the campus, and then it's just random. And then all of a sudden he's like, "Hey, did you see that?" to the kid, and the kid's like, "What? Yeah, did you see that? What? Never mind. Are we supposed to wait here?" He's like, And then so I'm just like, okay. And then he just says, idiot with mustache or something. And then he's like, I heard that. You know how mad I would have gotten if I heard that after you go like this? I would have been like, you know what? You deserve that, you little. And I would have gone in. I'm not going to lie. Steve Carell's better
Steve
than me.
Carell did not do that.
He's way better than me. He just went, okay. Like, I love when he does that. I love when Steve Carell goes, okay, on to the next thing. And there's so many times in this show when that happens. Like, that scene where he accidentally buys alcohol for that kid who was underage. And the cop comes up at him.
Dude,
bro, oh my gosh. And he's just like, well, no, I wasn't trying to get do a BJ or something out in the back. And he's like, wait, what?
Why would you even say that? I wasn't even thinking that. Yeah, it's just so absurd, by the way. It's so awesome.
It kept going up and getting worse and worse and worse. And my favorite but most annoying and awkward scene was when he's taking Dylan Shepard, played by Danielle Deadweiler, back home.
Yeah.
And she's trying to get him in the house. And he's just like, I don't know. Like, maybe just calm down. Let's have a drink. And she's like, okay, do you want to have a drink? No, I'm sorry. I can't. I literally almost pulled my hair out. I was like, why would you tell her to chill out? You want to have a drink. And then you just go, actually, on second thought, I don't want to drink. I just don't think this is right. When she broke her window, I actually felt that because I was like, yeah, that's how the night's going.
So awkward. I love it.
That's why I'm excited for these next episodes because I feel like it's just going to get more awkward and crazy. Do you feel like it gets like, well, I mean, it's already good, but do you feel like it gets better for him?
Yeah. Oh, like better. What do you mean better for him? Like he gets funnier, he gets more interesting. Like what?
Do you feel like all the situations keep getting like worse? Like where it's like he almost gets arrested, he almost gets accused of hating women, he accidentally like rejects a woman who's clearly trying to. Do you feel like it's just gonna get progressively worse? Like
I think it's gonna consistently escalate.
Or do you feel like it's gonna get smoother?
No, I think the show's gonna keep escalating. From what you could tell, without spoiling the end of the first episode, things escalate pretty hard. I think for Steve Carell's character, I doubt. Here's the thing: a lot of the like random like bits that happen in the show of like things just like not working out for him or him being dumb, whatever. Very small things. Like it's just very like fun, silly. Like this is stupid. Why would you say that? You know. I think as the show goes on, it's probably gonna get worse. Things are gonna start unwinding. Things are gonna get really bad. Whatever. I'm curious to see if the show gets dark. That's kind of what I want. Like I'm super curious to see how the show is gonna balance comedy and maybe more like serious drama elements because I think. After this first episode, those things are clear that that's going to be prevalent. The show's going to tackle some serious subjects. The show's going to actually have like a fairly like consistent plot that's going to be relevant to the story. It's not just going to be one-off episodes that are like funny. Like this show's trying to tell a story, and I think you could just tell by its production value, the show feels kind of prestige. It feels different for sure when you compared to like maybe like a sitcom you would watch. Like again, I talked about it last week. I just recently finished Superstore. Like I can't imagine Superstore looking like this. You know, Superstore's super bright and fun because that's what it is. This show has like a weird grain to it that like they're definitely doing something different here, and I'm all for it. I really like it. It feels different. So
I can't wait for Sunday.
Yeah,
I can't wait.
It's gonna be awesome. I'm glad we both watched this. You know what's funny is I thought I was gonna watch it. I was gonna sell you on it. That's funny.
Okay, it's great minds think alike.
Great minds think alike, and I almost didn't even watch it. So I fell asleep watching it last night, and then I finished it this morning once I woke up. So
I hate when that happens.
Yeah, luckily I'm pretty good at like I can feel my eyes closing, so I turn it off and then I go to bed. Phil, we watched a movie called Project Hail Mary this weekend.
Oh yeah.
Are we ready to talk about it? You want to just get into it? Let's just do it. Let's just go for it. Let's just go for it. Who wants to go first? You want to go first? I'll go. You can go first.
Bro, this movie. I knew it was gonna be pretty good, but this movie was really good.
Whoa.
Like really good.
Whoa. Whoa. Who would have guessed?
Like I knew the first thing I was thinking about, even when I saw the trailer, even when I was hearing about it, was the cinematography is probably gonna be really good. Like really good. And it was really good, but what I didn't expect even more was the story was really drawing me in. And that's obvious because Phil Lord and Christopher Miller are just like geniuses when it comes to
geniuses. Also weirdest portfolio, but we'll talk about that in a second.
Yeah, big time. But like I was so impressed with the comedy. I didn't expect it to be as funny as it was gonna be. I was very impressed with the relationship between Ryland Grace and Rocky. And I just love the space scenes. I really love the space scenes. But this movie, a lot of my friends were telling me before I even watched it, like this is definitely like gonna be their favorite movie of the year, and it's definitely like a 10 out of 10 for them, and I believe it for them. I'm not saying I'm giving it 10.
You're not ready for that night yet.
I'm not ready for it yet. I gotta watch it again, but I'm just gonna say I love this movie. What about you, Lizzie?
What's your number score?
Oh, I'm giving it an 8 out of 10. A high 8 out of 10.
Whoa, okay.
High.
Okay.
I want to give it a 9. I'm very.
I think this might change after
I'm
this
at
conversation.
like an 8.8 or 8.9 right now, but I'm leaving it at a very high 8 out of 10.
Okay. I watched Project Hail Mary. Hail Mary. Not a football movie, by the way. It's not a football movie. This is about space. I watched Project Hail Mary, and going in, similar to you, I was expecting it to be good. Actually, no, difference between me and you is you expect it to be pretty good. I kind of went in knowing it was going to be insane. So, like, my expectations were really, really high for it going in, especially looking at the Letterboxd score. I have it pulled up right here. 4.4 out of 5 stars right now on Letterboxd average. And while I don't think it blew me away, it's incredible.
Oh, yeah.
It's a 9 out of 10 for me, hands down. It's a more wholesome Interstellar, and I wasn't ready for that, like, at all. It made me emotional. The music was incredible.
Oh, yeah.
It was, yes, surprisingly funny, and I should have expected that considering the directors made 21 and 22 Jump Street, but I didn't think about that going in. It was really funny. I love the relationship between Rocky and Ryan Gosling's character as well.
it.
The space scenes were incredible. Let's give a shout out to the editing, by the way.
Oh,
I
big
think
time.
the way they were able to jump
time.
between the past and what was happening currently was incredible. They also play with the aspect ratio, right? That's the term. Yeah, aspect ratio, where when normal it's widescreen, and then once it's in the space scenes, they go full on like IMAX cameras, which was really cool. I just thought the movie was absolutely phenomenal, and I really enjoyed it, and I can't wait to talk about it right now.
Yeah, speaking of the aspect ratio, I was kind of noticing that because my question I had in my mind even before the movie started was every single time I go into the theater, movies playing in the whole widescreen, trailers, everything. Before the movie started, everything was playing a little smaller. Like Spider-Man Brand New Day trailer comes up, smaller. Dune 3 trailer comes up, smaller with like black around it. I'm like, why is that? Did they not fix the camera? When the movie starts, it's squared a little bit, but then it expands. And I went, oh, that's so cool.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
Well, usually it's because of the kind of camera they're using.
Yeah.
So for a lot of the past scenes, they'll use like any scene that is not in space, essentially. They're using probably a more traditional like camera setup. I could not tell you the like actual terms or anything, but I knew going in that for the space scenes they used like crazy IMAX cameras. That was the goal. That was the plan, and you can tell because whenever it's like the square with the black borders, and then once it cuts to space, it like full screens, and I'm like, whoa, chill out.
So beautiful, man.
Did you see how this movie didn't use any green screens or blue screens?
I saw that and I was kind of curious because I was like, I mean, was Ryan Gosling actually in space, or were they using that one screen that they used for the Batman or something?
I think a lot of it was practical effects, I would assume. Wow. I don't know. Tyler, do you know anything about how it was filmed? Because they were like, for a lot of the scenes, especially with like the colors got crazy, they didn't use any green or blue screen.
I haven't looked into it.
Okay, I need to look into it.
like,
I meant to and I forgot to because I keep seeing everyone talk about that, and I'm like, then how did this movie get made?
I'm just gonna say they used magic.
Magic, sure.
I'm just gonna say
yeah,
they
it felt
used
like magic.
Movie magic.
Movie
man.
magic.
Which is why you guys should go check this movie out. I'm just saying that for now, but we're still gonna talk about it because I love it.
What did you think about this movie taking a more wholesome approach? Because I think Interstellar is very dark.
Yes.
Like, it gets really sad and it's very serious. And you're just like, dude, this movie was funny and really sweet. Like, the entire time, you know?
I think that got me more into the movie because don't get me wrong, I love Interstellar, but I think, like, as serious as it is, at a lot of times in Interstellar, it was a little bit too serious for some points where I kind of just wanted the moment of like, hey, we're in space. This is super cool.
Let's have fun, you know?
And that's what you get at the beginning of this movie with Ryan Gosling. Like, I know he didn't feel that, but I felt it when he wakes up and he's just like, no, don't touch me. Another human? Let me check. What is this? Cool, weird room, whatever. And it's just, it was so fun to get Ryan Gosling waking up, trying to get his body working, and then us touring his space
shuttle.
I don't know, his spaceship thing.
Yeah.
And it was just nice to get like acquainted with it. And so the rest of the movie, because then, you know, we find out he doesn't really know who he is. And there comes the first edit with him going back to the classroom. And I thought that was nice because then you have some funny scenes with him. The earth is lava, throwing it around, talking with the kids. And then after that gets recruited to do research on, what was the thing called? Amoebas?
I wouldn't know.
Amoebas? I don't know. The little water thing that was ruining the sun cells, I think. I don't know. But it was cool, like, getting into that and feeling, or getting that silliness from Ryan Gosling. Another funny thing about it, too, is Christopher Miller and Phil Lord's like I'm starting to get a sense of how they do their comedy and writing when it comes to it, because I've seen a lot of their movies. Like I believe you said 21 Jump Street.
21 and 22 Jump Street.
Okay,
Lego Movie.
Love those.
Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs.
Yep.
Those are the movies they've specifically directed. They've produced a lot of movies too.
But I've seen all of those, and I love that type of comedy. Like whenever I see Phil Lord and Christopher Miller doing something, that is me. Like that is my type of comedy, because it definitely showed in this. Ryan Gosling, there were so many times, like, I feel like that Nope, like, type of thing is dumb. Because you've seen him across Spider-Verse, you've seen it in the Lego Movie, you've seen it a lot of times in their other projects, and, like, their comedy just flows with whatever they do. And it really shined in this movie. Like, really shined. And I was very impressed.
I want to, do you want to take, so this movie split up into two separate things, past and then space stuff. What do you want to talk about first? So maybe we can break down both and kind of like talk about how he felt about each.
Well, overall, how did you feel about that editing technique?
I loved it. I thought it was really good. It was never confusing. I never felt like I wasn't following, because it did a really good job of, okay, here's some of the space stuff. Here's what he's developing. Here's what's going on with him and Rocky. And then it would transition of, okay, here's how we got here. And I really liked that sort of split between the two, because whenever I felt like, okay, like I'm starting to get a little bored, or hey, I need to change of scenery, it would change just like that, you know? Yeah. So I never felt like I was sitting on something for too long. I felt like there was always something new and interesting getting revealed, or like a cool, like, moral discussion happening, you know?
That was another cool thing. How did you like the scene transitions when they'd have the camera tilted, because when he was in space,
yeah,
like, to the side.
I thought it was a cool
touch. They would show the Earth side and they'd turn the camera back up.
Yeah, I thought it was a really cool touch. Cool. Yeah, I really like that too. I want to talk about some of the visual stuff with the space things. Let's just go spoilers for the movie, just so we can kind of talk about it a little more freely. So they go to the galaxy Tossetti, which I thought was really cool, little space stuff. But specifically, they go to a planet. What was it called? Adrian. They named it Adrian. And it looked so pretty, dude.
Yes.
Just the green and I love space movies like that purely. And I just like space stuff in general, because I like how so many people are able to understand how pretty space is. Yeah. I think we can all look at space and be like, yeah, that's pretty scary, you know, just a whole lot of nothing going on.
Yeah.
But like when you're able to capture really its beauty, I think there's something really fun about that, because I think around all that darkness and scariness of floating in space aimlessly, there's also all that really cool, pretty visual color stuff you can do. And this movie does that hands down. So just Planet Adrian already looking awesome. And then when he uses the whole, like, I'm just going to say amoebas, because I don't remember what they're called, but the amoeba, astrophage, thank you. The astrophage thing. The camera that was able to like capture it, and then the whole screen goes all red and pretty.
Gosh.
I thought that was freaking awesome looking. And I was like, dude, heck yeah. I remember just having a really big smile on my face, because I'm like, this is a freaking movie.
That was the most beautiful scene I've seen in a while. Like, if I'm being for real, that was just so beautiful, so well shot. And I'm just going to say Grace. I loved his, like, narration, or even his moment in that, like, what he's talking about, how he's feeling, and then even Rocky in the background going like, what's going on? I can't really see anything. He's like, I'm just having a moment.
Yeah.
That was so good, bro. And maybe
So
it's just
good.
because I'm still coming off that high of watching Hoppers, and there were those such good like nature scenes when they're just standing still and like looking at everything
Admiring,
around.
yeah.
So going from that to this, oh man, that was beautiful.
So good. Let's talk about Rocky. Let's talk about the GOAT. Can we be honest? He made that movie. He made that movie infinitely better, because quite frankly, I love Ryan Gosling to death. Once Rocky showed up, I was laughing so hard. And I think what's so good is Rocky doesn't show up till a good bit into the movie, actually. I didn't check time, but what I would assume is probably like good 30 minutes into the movie, 40 minutes into the movie, he kind of shows up. And I think what I loved about that so much is it really shows you how lonely Ryan Gosling is stuck on this ship by himself. So that when Rocky shows up, everyone is kind of feeling the exact same thing Ryan Gosling's feeling of, oh my gosh, another person. Like, I finally someone he can talk to, you know, this is awesome. And it kind of broke that loneliness that I was feeling watching it, where I'm just like, man, like, where is this? Like, I'm so curious where this is going to go. And once Rocky shows up, the entire vibe of the movie changed. You know, it's now instead of just a Ryan Gosling trying to figure out what to do, space stuff, whatever, it's kind of like a buddy cop movie.
Oh, yeah.
Him hanging out with this other rock guy and they're doing science stuff and they're hanging out and having a good time. But he was also just so funny. He was so funny. Every time they're trying to learn a new word for something, and specifically the naming, where he was like, hey, what's your name? And it was just like this long, drawn out noise. I was laughing so hard. Quite honestly, I think I was laughing a little louder than I should have in the theater. You ever like react to something more than other people are?
Yep.
And you're just like, sorry, like I shouldn't have done that. There's a joke. I was talking to my brother about this because I was trying to get him to remind me what the joke was. I still don't remember it. But Rocky does say something, and Ryan Gosling has a really funny response. And I laughed really hard. No one laughed. And I literally like went quiet. I looked at Anthony. I was just like, my brother, and I was just like, I was like, sorry. I just thought it was really good humor. And you're right. I think Phil Lord and Chris, like their humor, it just works for me too. Yeah. I'm very easy to make laugh. Like I kind of laugh at a lot of things, but their humor is just so fast. Like it just goes. It's very, I feel like riff based, where you and a person are just kind of talking and things just kind of happen that are funny. And I really like that.
I love it, man. I was just like you. I was just very impressed with the comedy, and I think the way I knew how this was gonna go was instantly when Ryan Gosling was trying to take control of the ship and was trying to fly away from his ship.
Oh, yeah.
He kept following him, and I was just like,
nice.
Thinking about it now, I'm like, dang, Rocky must have been really lonely that he kept following that ship around.
Poor guy.
Instead of being scared, because they were both the same person. I'm just like, dang, so Ryan Gosling, Grace is trying to get away from him, and Rocky's over here like, hey, I'm right here. Hey, throws this thing an artifact at him. Open it. I could just tell that's what he was doing. Tapping on the glass. Open it. I can see that.
I like when he does the point too, and he's like, "Oh, you're not." That was really good.
He was like,
what did you think of like? Okay, sorry. Did this movie make you emotional?
Yes.
Did you cry?
No.
Phil, do you cry in movies?
Not really. The only movie that almost made me cry was A Little Princess.
Did you watch Iron Claw?
Yeah.
That didn't make you cry?
Almost did, but I didn't.
Whoa.
I was close.
Okay, I'm a very emotional person when I watch movies. I cry very easily. Not like 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 my hands. I like tears will be falling out of my eyes, and I'm just sitting there like a man, like just slow tear out my eye.
You're sitting there like.
Yeah, there's very few movies where I've like walked out feeling like a mess.
Yeah.
Where like Logan, I walked out and I was a freaking mess. I was 11 years old. My entire life was shattered in front of me. Iron Claw actively ruined my Christmas. It like killed the vibe of the entire holidays. I cried so much watching that movie. This movie I went in, I think, expecting to cry, so I didn't. But I still got pretty emotional. Yeah. I got really connected to this dang rock and Ryan Gosling. Quite frankly, I got connected to them more than Emma Stone and Ryan Gosling. They have way more chemistry. This rock and Ryan Gosling.
You just don't like Stone.
No, and that's not to disrespect La La Land and Emma Stone, a movie I freaking love to death. Ryan Gosling and this damn rock have so much chemistry. It was insane. Yeah, I got really emotional, but just to spoil a big scene in the movie that I want to talk about with you is when he gets hit and he's like, Ryan Gosling is pretty much about to die. Yep. And Rocky breaks out of his thing and drags him over to like the bed to get him healed. I'm so happy. And it's actually funny enough, similar to the Hoppers thing, where you now can't understand what they're saying, but you know exactly how they're feeling.
Yep.
And the way he was just like freaking out. Oh my gosh. I was like, please stop. And then you see him spazzing on the floor, like tweaking out. And I was like, can you stop showing this to me? Like, what are you doing? Why are you doing this to me?
To have you feel exactly the way you feel.
Exactly,
now,
right? Phenomenal scene. And I thought all of that sequence was great, leading up to even like Ryan Gosling like sleeping next to him and being like, don't worry, buddy, like I'll watch you. Because their people need to watch each other while they sleep because they sleep too long. Come on, man. That's so sad. Good, that's so sweet, And when he finally, I actually thought he was dead. I gave in.
I did too.
I fully believed it. I was like, yep, that's it. This movie sucks. It's the worst movie ever.
I was thinking, low key, if he did die, I would have been like, So he gets to go back home to them people that put him in a coma.
No, for
His face
real.
shit.
For
I was
real.
literally gonna be so. All right, here's how it broke out. So, newsflash. Rocky's alive.
Yay!
And then, bro, honestly, that was probably my favorite non-hug that was a hug ever in a movie, man. Like
Dude,
right when Grace wakes up and just goes, I literally felt that. That's why I literally almost cried. That was the scene that almost made me cry.
Wow.
That was the scene.
That's
that
what got
almost made me
Phil.
cry.
We'll get
I
Phil to
literally
cry in the
right there
movie.
when he just went straight into him.
Wow.
And then like before, because I love the scene where he just gives him a hug because
Yeah.
he's like offering to give him fuel, and he's just like, "What is this? What are we doing?" And he's like, "It's a hug." What
When you
what
know
do we
stop.
do? He just raises his body up like, yeah. So then right when the second hug happens, and Rocky just without any thought just goes, I was like, oh man. Oh man.
Oh, man.
Is this the best relationship we've seen in the movie?
Yeah. No,
Is
for
this
sure.
the best one?
Yeah, for sure.
What beats it? If you could choose
In
one,
this
what-
movie or in any movie?
any movie, what relationship beats this movie?
Wally and Eva in Wally. It's the single greatest love story in cinema history. I stand on that
Screw the
wholeheartedly.
robots.
Screw
It's
them
about
robots.
Rocky and Grace.
No, it's a fantastic.
Rocky,
it
Grace, and
genuinely was
Adrian.
perfect. And can I be honest? And this is where I want to talk about some of the past stuff. I think once Rocky gets introduced, I care less about like the past stuff. Because I'm just like, please let me just get back. Where at the
Yes.
beginning, I loved a lot of his story of him in the classroom and then him getting roped into all this government stuff and then him hanging out and like with all the people and whatever. I thought it was all great. But once Rocky gets introduced, every time they cut away, I'm like, no, bring me back, you know? But
I'm going
even
9 out of 10.
even just
I'm
yes, we
going
got
9
him. Let's
out of
go.
10.
We did
I'm going 9
it.
out
It
of
always
10.
happens.
I'm
It always
I'm
happens.
remembering everything, and I'm just like, oh.
I do want to briefly talk about the past stuff before we move on. Really good still. I think hands down it is really good. I think it moves at a very different pace where it kind of feels a little bit more slow and then just now things are going, you know? And I liked it because I think it has some of the best bits in the movie, especially early on. I think of Ryan Gosling and the like, what do you call him? He's from The Bear. I know that. Like I always forget the
you're
actor's
talking
name.
about
But,
Lionel Boyce, who was Carl.
I loved them hanging out at Home Depot, just like rolling the things and doing all the weird science stuff. I love stuff like that. Like science montages are so fun when they figure stuff like that. When they're all just eating candy the whole time, made me want to eat candy. That's all I'm saying. I loved a lot of that stuff, and I liked. A great scene is when he goes into the government office or he goes into the big meeting and he's sitting there and he's like, what's going on? And he like talks into the mic. Thought it was so good. But I don't think this is the same scene because I wanted to bring up a joke, but I don't think it's that scene. I'm sorry. I'm jumping all around right now. Do you remember the scene when he's talking about how he doesn't want to get on the ship and like he's like, I'm really scared of like I could never get on a ship. I'm scared of like this thing. And then the pilot is like, well, don't worry. I mean, that thing's not going to be on a spaceship. Do you know what I'm talking about? Do you know what I'm talking about?
That thing's not going to be on space. Are you talking about when the astronauts find out that they are going to die?
Yeah,
And
yeah,
then
yeah,
they're talking about
exactly,
different ways
exactly.
They want to die?
Yeah. Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I don't remember the exact scene, but there's a specific instance where he's talking about how much of a coward he is. And he's like, dude, I can't even do this. You know what I'm talking about?
Same.
Yeah. Okay. I thought that bit was so funny with the pilot. I liked a lot of the side cast. AT&T girl for some reason is in this movie, and I was like, that's funny. But also, yeah, I like noticed it. I was like, that's AT&T? That's pretty cool. She's an actress now. But I mean, she was always an actress.
been an
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
But regardless, I was like, that's cool. I liked all of that stuff. But again, dude, I think the Rocky and Ryan Gosling relationship just kind of outshines everything that those bits were doing. After a certain point, I'm just like, dude, I'm all in on this. So, but what'd you think of the explosion leading into him inevitably getting onto the ship? What'd you think of all that?
Are you talking about the scene?
Yeah,
when
in the past, when the big building explodes and they lose a bunch of their people.
Bro, that took me out because I was wondering why did they just go, joke's on you, you're actually gonna be on the ship because you're the smartest guy we have. I was thinking, is that how it's going? But right when that spot blew up, I went, oh, so he has to go on the ship. And in my mind, I was thinking that's probably the scientist. And then right when they admitted it, I went,
Yeah.
so did he volunteer? And right when he says, no, I don't want to do it. Can I think about it? You have 3 hours. I went, he doesn't want to do it. He doesn't want to do it. And so right when you find out that he never wanted to do it and they put him in the forced coma, I went, yeah, bro, I'm not returning to Earth.
You know,
I
this
literally said that in my head. I'm like, I'm not going back.
you know, I think this probably isn't true at all, but something me and my brother talked about is like, do you think they exploded the building on purpose? because he was the only one that was going to be able to figure it out. I don't think that's probably actually true. I like that theory. That's a very like government shady thing to do because you're like, hey, these scientists have not really figured out anything. You've kind of done most of the work. So why wouldn't you come on the ship? And that was the only way they could really convince him. But also they could have just knocked him out anyway and did it. So it's probably not really what happened. But I think him getting knocked out and all that stuff was really sad.
It really
That was really sad. Like hit, but also kind of funny. When he's on the counter and he's like trying to get around them, he's like, nope, 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 nope.
When she says like you don't have any family, not even a pet, I went,
yeah, dude,
I
poor
don't
guy.
like you anymore.
Yeah, no, what the heck was that?
I was like warming up to what's her name? I was warming up to Stig and Ava, and then right when she said all that, I was like, I don't like you no more. You know what? I would have gotten mad myself if I was in a position. I was like, you know what? Put me in space right now. Bet I won't save y'all.
Dude, I mean,
bet I won't save
like
y'all.
even just him on the floor screaming like, please don't, please don't. Like a kid freaking scared of getting a shot, bro.
Yep.
Like that was so sad. Genuinely so sad. And freaking Carl doing it too. What are you doing, bro? Y'all play bowling in the Home Depot. What are you doing?
Man, y'all had Skittles.
Yeah, dude.
That
was rough.
They lucky they didn't send me up there. I would have been like, you ain't getting this.
Yeah.
You ain't getting this astrophage.
Yeah, no, you're not getting it.
You forced me on this ship. I'm going to his planet. I'm going Rocky. I'm chilling.
What'd you think of the ending?
Oh, so heartwarming.
So good, right?
So heartwarming. When I find out that he lives, and then when I see him walking, at first I thought they just found their own planet. But then the more I'm thinking about it, and then when he says that word, he's like, can you tell them to like maybe switch up the temperature to the water? It's a little cold. I went, oh, he's living with Rocky. And I got so happy because at first I was like, damn, he's in heaven right now.
He's dead.
Damn, he's dead. But then I saw the little robotic thing and I was like, where is he? And I was like, and then so when he goes over and he's teaching the little rock kids and stuff, and he's like, any questions? I was like, bro, never go back.
I hope he stays. I hope he ends up staying. Probably Hail Mary 2. Hope it never happens. But yeah, phenomenal movie. I really enjoyed the ending too. I thought it was perfect way to end that movie. Yeah. I will say before we close, nothing's gonna beat. At this point, I don't think anything's gonna beat 28 Years Later 2, The Bone Temple, because I put it on my Letterboxd list and I was like, dude, is this better than The Bone Temple? No, because I can't stop thinking about that movie still to this day. That's true. So I wanted to ask, is this your movie of the year so far?
It's my movie of the year so far.
Okay.
It is. And I just gave it a 9 out of 10. I got
you got to, yeah. Bone Temple is still mine. I'm still waiting for the thing to dethrone it. I think the thing that will end up dethroning it is whatever I give a 10 this year, where I'm just like, this is the definitive, this is what you should all be watching.
I know what's going to beat it.
K-Pop Demon Hunters 2.
In 4 years.
In 4 years. But yeah, anything else you want to say on Project Hail Mary?
Bro, please go watch this movie. Please, like, this movie was so good. It's way better than good. It's fantastic. And if you have a chance, and I'm not even joking, if you have a chance to watch this in IMAX, go watch it in IMAX.
I didn't watch it in IMAX, but you should do it.
I didn't watch it in IMAX, but I just know.
You just know it's probably insane.
I literally was thinking the whole time, this movie, I wish I saw this in IMAX.
Yeah.
I wish. But go watch the movie. Standard, IMAX, 4D, whatever you want to do. Just watch it in theaters.
Came out. Phil, I've been fairly quiet, so I kind of want to go in.
Oh, go in.
I watched Shoppers. I actually watched it today. I watched it in between my class. I got out of my 1 to 2:15 class. I was like, all right, I'm going to drive to the AMC. I showed up probably like 3 minutes. Like, I think once I walked in, the movie had like just started. Like, it was like, I was like, okay, what's going on? I basically came in right when she starts like doing the petition stuff.
Oh.
I like, did I miss something? Please don't tell me I missed something.
You missed a pretty good scene.
No, dang it. I was in such a big rush and I didn't want to watch it in 3D, so I didn't go for a later time. What did I miss? Can you just tell me really fast?
So at the beginning, because
this is the beginning. It's not a spoiler. It's not a movie.
Yeah, at the beginning, there's a scene where they really do a good job of explaining Mabel's character with her as a kid in elementary school, grabbing all the animals and then trying to set them free.
Oh, that's cute.
Because they're, you know those little animals that kids have in their classrooms, class pet? She was trying to grab them and set them all free.
Okay.
After that, she doesn't succeed, but it shows like she loves animals and nature. And then after that, she goes, her mom, she's yelling at her, like going like, you can't do that, drops her off at her grandmother's. She's mad. Her grandmother's trying to make her feel better. And they go out into that nature.
Okay, so it's like the beginning of, okay, cool.
Exactly.
Which I got still from the rest of the movie. That's fine. Cool, I just missed that scene. Needed to make sure I got that. Cool. Now you know my perspective going into this movie and my review, okay? Boom. So I showed up, she's trying to get the petition signed. Phil, this movie was, I think, interesting for me because I think going in, I was like excited, but I didn't have high expectations. I just really thought the movie looked really funny.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, at worst, I'm gonna have a laugh a lot. I'm gonna have a good time at worst, you know?
And I'm pleasantly surprised that not only do I think is this one of the funniest Pixar movies,
Yes.
I do actually think this movie has a really great and important message that we'll get into in a little bit. And that was just really surprising to me. Because I think especially going in, I wasn't expecting that. And watching a good bit of the movie in the beginning, at least, I wasn't expecting what the message ended up being.
Oh, yeah.
And it was fantastic. Such a funny movie, such an awesome time. I love all the characters. I love Mabel. I love the mayor. I love the insects. And oh my
Yes.
gosh, don't get me started on the beaver himself.
King George.
Dude, King George is the best. I freaking loved him so much. And I thought this movie was absolutely excellent. I'm going 8 out of 10. I'm going an 8 out of 10. But I think if someone told me this was in their top 5 Pixar, I wouldn't disagree with them. Or I would disagree, but I wouldn't be like, that's wrong or that's dumb, you know? Like, I think that's very valid. I think the only problem in quotes, is that I think for a lot of Pixar movies, the ones that I would consider my favorites, like the 9s and the 10s out of 10s, usually are things that I relate to more.
Yeah.
And this one, I thought it was a very great message, and I think a lot of people need to hear this. I just didn't relate to a lot of the characters in this movie. So I was just kind of like, I'm going in with emotions, and I didn't get super emotional, but I did feel things, you know? I was just like really into what this movie was trying to say, and I thought it said it well. But it wasn't like a controversial pick for me, Onward. I love Onward so much because as someone who has an older brother who loves his older brother so much, that movie stuck out to me because that bond between the two of them was just like, it hits home, you know? And a movie like Coco, as someone who I think it hits for basically anyone because most people like have families, you know? But that movie, as someone who comes from a big family and who like precedes you, your heritage matters so much. A movie like that was just like, it hits really hard, you know? This movie doesn't really have any of that for me, but I think it's still incredible and I loved it so much.
Just saying, Coco's a 10 out of 10.
Coco's a 10 out of 10.
It's
It's
10
peak.
out of 10.
Or
It's-
Wally,
it's-
dude. Oh my gosh, Wally. I love
Oh,
Wally.
yeah.
Wally's the best movie ever.
Oh, yeah.
Anyways, Phil, let's talk about Hoppers. What'd you think?
I'm just getting it out the way. I
Yeah.
give this movie a 9 out of 10.
Woo!
I really like this movie. Like, I was very, well, it's not even just that. I feel like this healed me because when I watched Elio, I mean, y'all, if you haven't.
Oh, Phil hates
or
Elio and the
Bosco
movies.
movie, I don't hate it. It's just that I thought it was going to be a little better.
Yeah.
Like, on this situation it was touching on. But this healed me because one of my favorite things about Pixar movies is you have a main character. Yes, they're good. But you also have incredible, really good and addicting side characters. And this movie brought me back to really cool, addicting, and funny side characters. And oh my gosh, like, King George, really good. That scene he gets introduced to where he's like teaching everybody like dance and everything, so good. John Hamm as the mayor, incredibly funny. And I love the scene where he's arguing with Mabel and it flashes back and forth. You're at my home. What are you doing? My mother lives here. And they're just going back and forth. But I also really liked the Insect King that I did not know was Dave Franco.
Oh, I noticed it
Voiced
immediately. And can I be honest? It like kind of bugged me.
Oh, for
Like
real?
I noticed it and I'm like, dude, like it just sounds like him. It just sounds like him. I need him to stop, please.
I love that, man.
Yeah.
I'll be for real. But also the gecko or the lizard, along with the bear and the other beaver that was all like looking sleepy and chill. Like I love
Oh
those
my
characters, bro.
gosh.
Like this one has a lot of so many of like really good. I think this is one of my favorite Pixar movies with side characters.
Wow.
I think it might be because I just loved all of them. When you get introduced to the council, I thought all of them were
Oh, the
funny.
council's
Flap around and find out. I died. Everybody in my theater died when he said that. But I didn't know Meryl Streep was the butterfly.
Oh, I didn't know that either.
I did
Wow.
not know Meryl Streep was the
That's
butterfly.
actually insane.
I remember the certain scene came up where, and I mean, we're talking spoilers. So the scene where,
Oh, I didn't know we are we?
I mean, I feel like we've been spoiling stuff.
We just talked about the beginning. That's not a spoiler. That's the
Oh,
first
never
10
mind.
minutes of the
Okay.
movie. We'll talk about spoilers in a second.
I
Let's
kind of really, you know what?
pump the
I just
brakes.
really
We'll
love
go.
this movie.
Yeah.
I really did. And I have to rewatch the Pixar movies to see if this would be my top 5. I feel like it is if I gave it a 9 out of 10, but there's a lot of Pixar movies I give high ratings for.
off the dome. Try. What's your top?
I mean, Coco number 1.
Uh-huh.
Toy Story 1 and 2 up there. 3 maybe. Okay, no. I don't think it could make my top 5. I don't think it can.
I know my top 3 off the dome. Like I just kind of like it's secured.
I think it might just be Coco, Toy Story 1, Toy Story 2, and then Toy Story 3.
Wow.
And then
This guy loves Toy
I
Story.
love Toy Story, bro. Toy Story's good. But that 5th movie, I don't know what that, maybe
Hoppers.
A Bug's Life?
I love A Bug's Life. It's so good.
Maybe A Bug's Life. I don't know. I'm gonna have to think about it, but
Yeah.
I don't think it makes my top 5, but it gets close.
Yeah.
I don't think it does.
And I don't think that's like crazy to say. I think this movie is really funny. I think my favorite gag or something they briefly reference, I think this is also in the trailer, is when it's like, oh, this is like Avatar. It's nothing like Avatar. This is better than Avatar.
I can kind of see that.
And here's what
I
I'll
can kinda
explain.
see that.
Is I think at least the first one,
Story-wise.
and that's what I'm saying, is I think the first one, right, if we're comparing the first Avatar to this, I think this movie just has so much more heart than Avatar does.
Yes.
Like,
I'm gonna say it's still Avatar's still close, but this has more heart.
And here's why I say that. I think Avatar is so blatant on here's what the theme is, right?
Yeah.
Humans are destroying society and they're here to destroy nature here. This movie, I think, adds a lot of nuance to that that I think Avatar never really gets to, you know? Because Avatar, very much so, is about damaging the environment. You're damaging the environment. humans are bad, we need to fight them.
Yeah.
Right. This movie kind of portrays that differently.
Oh, yeah.
Portrays it differently where it's like, hey, like look at the humans damaging the environment and taking these animals out of their homes, but also like let's give you a glimpse of how these characters live on their own and how they feel like they need to do good and whatever. And we'll talk about themes in a second. But that resonated with me because I like that this movie wanted to discuss nuance.
Yeah.
Because I think nuance is so important. I think it's easy to see things black and white, but once you start discussing that gray, that's when you get to more interesting conversations.
Oh, yeah.
And I think this movie you can have very interesting conversations about because it wasn't afraid to really get into the nuance of it. So yeah, fantastic movie, dude. It's so good.
I was really thinking about that through the movie, though. That's why I was kind of shook that I liked it as much, because the way they do the Avatar trope in this really was a little bit better than the first Avatar movie. Nothing really beats Avatar: The Way of Water for me. I'm sorry. That's on a higher level. But the way it goes into, because I think the beginning scene, and I feel like you already love it more than Avatar 1, so I think you already understand it, but the beginning scene does a really good job to me of getting to that point, because obviously we learn who Mabel is, what she loves, what she believes in, but then we also see that scene where it just talks about, like, she's super angry, she's super frustrated, and their grandmother brings her out and just says, shh, listen.
Yeah.
And it just goes quiet. You're listening to nature, you're looking at the animals in the area, and you're already knowing it's about to get super, like, emotional, you're going to get to know these characters, and you definitely get to know these animals. That was the one thing that got me even more excited when I'm watching this movie, because right when she gets into that beaver-tar body, when she finally gets to be around those other animals, and it kind of gave me the Wild Robot vibes, when she starts hearing them talk, and she starts hearing them talk about the certain things, she's trying to talk to them as well, going like, have you seen a beaver and everything? And then you get really personal with all these different, like, side animals. I'm going to call them side animals. Only because with Avatar, I think the difference is with Neytiri, that's the one Avatar you really get to know. You really get to feel for. Compared to the other ones where it's like, oh, you're there, but I'm mainly rooting for Neytiri. I don't want her to die. But then when you watch this movie, you really don't want any animal to die because you love them all. And I feel like that's the thing that makes it a little better. You get to know all of these different characters more instead of just the nature of it.
Yeah, 100% agree. I think, oh man, I was going to say something too, and I really, damn it, I hate when this happens to me. My brain. Let's get into spoilers, because I think it's probably going to come back to me in really like the next 5 seconds. Let's go favorite bits, favorite moments from the movie. Can I say mine?
Yep.
Pond rules. I think the entire concept of the beaver like he looks super, like his eyes are closed, a lot of it, and he gets like eaten, and then like Maple jumps over, like, hey, like let him out, whatever, and he drops, and he's like, dude, why'd you do that? It's how it works, you know, like I got Ian.
The biggest reaction.
And like, do you still want to do it? No, now it's weird. So good. I thought this movie was just so funny. I don't know, there's a lot of bits like that where I'm just like, dude, this movie's awesome. You brought it up earlier, the dam scene when they're all dancing on the thing. I like when they rebuild the dam and they're like, oh, we're gonna party, and they just start going to town. Awesome.
Bro, my favorite scene in the whole movie was definitely when they're meeting with the council. She squishes the
My
butterfly.
theater gasped, like audibly, and so did I.
Everyone did. Bro, I was so shook because, I thought that character was going to be more, like, in the movie. And then right when that happened, all I heard was, and all of us, all the kids, everyone, I was dying. Everybody was laughing when I started laughing because I literally just went, no way. An animal just crushed another animal, and then everybody just started dying. And then my whole group, because I went for a huge group, they all heard me laughing and going crazy, and they all started laughing. But then even when, like, the reactions after, she was like, huh?
Oh my gosh, they're like rubbing it on the wall.
The little lick on the wall, I went, oh my gosh, they're gonna kill her. That was insane.
Dude.
I didn't expect that.
It was so random. And here, can I tell you probably my favorite part about this movie? The way it subverts your expectations. I think this movie sets itself up for the mayor's the villain.
Yes.
This is who we hate. We don't like him. He's the one trying to build the highway so the animals can't live. He's putting the nasty noises so they can leave their homes.
What a jerk.
But what quickly happens is, hey, the mayor's actually not that bad of a guy. He's just doing good the best way that he can. Yeah. And I think that's a major theme of this movie. I mean, freaking King George says it, I got his name right? I didn't say that wrong. I don't know why I second guessed myself. Yeah. He even says it, like, there's a great conversation between him and Mabel when they're walking, and he talks about how his dad left him and, like, banished him from the kingdom or whatever. And Mabel's like, yeah, he sucks, right? And he goes, I don't know. I think he's good. They're like, why are you saying that? Like, he sucks. He's the worst. And he goes, I don't know. I just think he was doing the best that he can. She's like, I don't think that makes him good. And then he hits her with that, but wouldn't you like to believe that everyone can be good? Freaking magic. I was like, dude, that's conversation, like, I don't know, that just hits so hard. And then to reflect that later on with the mayor, where this whole time you're like, this mayor sucks, he's the worst, he's building these highways, whatever, to see him like wake up in his super nice home, he's living luxurious, he's taking a cool shower, making the breakfast what you think is for himself and making it all look nice, and then he sits down and it's to his old mom who he takes care of. And then when he walks outside, you notice how small his house is, like, actually, and he just lives with everyone else like it's normal. That's awesome. Like, that's so cool because you have this expectation that, oh, this character's the worst. He's evil. He probably lives on nice and rich and luxury. No, he just like chills at home, I guess, when he's not doing mayor things, you know?
He's just doing the best that he can.
Exactly. And he is a little egotistical. He is a little power hungry, sure, but like he isn't a bad guy. And I think that's what I loved about this movie so much.
Yeah.
That, and then the line of the movie, we're all in this together. I think another very important idea where I think in today's age where a lot of us are maybe different culturally, religiously, politically, there's so many differences between all of us. I think we can all hate each other because of those differences.
Yeah.
But really, like, if we're thinking about what we all have in common in that way, a way that everyone would agree on, it's that we all live here and that we're all in this together.
Yep.
You know? And that's what matters, right? That we're all here.
Yeah.
And that made me really happy that Pixar was willing to talk about both those subjects.
Exactly.
Because I think so many people are afraid of the nuance, afraid of the, no, this person's evil and this person's good. No. Unfortunately, that's just not how the word works. Even look at Mabel, right? Mabel is portrayed as this character who gets things done, is great, and is awesome, and she's fighting for the people, you know? She's fighting for the animals. But every time she tries to do good, she messes up and makes things worse. Yeah. Like, she's actively a good person, but she's doing bad. She's not making things any better, you know? That's cool to see that reflection of, especially with the mayor, the exact same way, where he's this bad guy portrayed here, but he's making the lives of all the people better, you know? Just a really interesting, like, difference between the two characters. I thought it was really awesome.
No, that was perfect because, to be honest, I think one of the things that really impressed me was the whole, like, step into somebody's like shoes or like see how another person's like life is on that side. Like you have the Avatar thing where eventually, spoiler alert, the mayor turns into one.
Yeah.
He turns into a beaver in his own way with the hair and the tie. I thought that was funny. But he was already starting to get it, but when he really got in that body and really started to like interact with the animals and help them, he could see the differences. He could see what is the good in that. That's why that ending scene, I really loved it.
Yeah.
When he's like, all right, let's do our job. Everybody, let's fix this up. I really like that. And the fact that obviously, it's not going to be perfect when you're trying to, like, work together because they tried lifting that thing up and they're arguing. But the fact that they were able to meet each other there, lift it up, and, like, try to get it out of there, that's the most important thing.
Yeah, exactly.
That's why I like what you said. Like, we're all in this together because, I mean, it's Beaverton. It's our Beaverton. We all got to just make it better. And I like that. And I like how they were teaching kids on that. And I like how there was another thing that I really liked about it. It's mainly with Mabel. It was, like, her character, how she's I like how she learned that she pretty much was like causing all these problems.
Oh, yeah.
And the scene that I really liked that showed that big time was when King George finds out that she is human. I thought that was insane. I thought that reveal was really good. That was one thing that I will say was better than the way Avatar revealed it because everybody knew they were avatars. Like everybody knew. But the way King George found out was nuts. Like, what was it? Was it a snake or what grabbed her?
So she gets grabbed, and her arm starts to rip off a little bit,
but
right? I think it was by one of the humans when they're grabbing her, because remember, they get her in the basket, she bites through it, and then the mayor grabs her, and then she starts to rip a little bit. It doesn't matter really, but regardless, like, like that moment of like her getting sort of ripped off, getting transported back in, and in the beaver, like the robot beaver's just standing there, and he goes up to it, and he's like trying to grab it.
That was so hard to watch.
So hard to watch.
I literally forgot too that she was human. I was like, I like her as a beaver, but then right when her mind gets transported back into her body, and then the King George is watching it happen, I went, oh, this is gonna suck. This is actually gonna suck. And then when he's trying to like wake up the little robotic beaver, I was like,
I'm so happy they didn't cut to like the perspective of like the animals when you can like they have the bigger eyes and you can like hear them talk. I'm so happy there was just the little eyes and he looked super cute and he was just like and I'm like, dude, please stop.
Potato.
Yeah. So awesome. Just a phenomenal movie.
It just did a really good job of like I don't know. It just did it did a really good job of like talking about two different sides and where we can meet each other halfway.
Exactly. Yeah.
Did a very good job on that.
And I mean, they even come to a compromise with the highway. I mean, the highway just gets rerouted. My favorite bit, two things with the highway that I thought were so funny. One, when the mayor's like gassing himself up about, so save you a whole 4 minutes. Really funny. I just like, that's so awesome. But did you also notice, I don't know if this was just in like the diorama they had, but the highway is just a circle. Like, it's what's the point of it? Like, actually?
I was trying to figure that out because I was like, okay, so does that mean there's going to be one? No, because then everybody would get clogged over here. So does that mean two? No.
It literally doesn't make any sense in concept.
I was like, how are they getting down?
Don't know. It's so funny. I will say, we mentioned a little bit. Dave Franco did take me out of the movie a bit, only because of how distinctly it was Dave Franco.
It really was.
I was just like, dude, I was like, is that him? And then once I like realized, I couldn't stop hearing him just yelling. When I think of Dave Franco, I think of the scene in 21 Jump Street when he's like, I'm the guy like me in jail. It rides with grape. I always think of that scene. And hearing him was just a lot, but I loved the scene of him like cocooning, or I don't know what you call the process of a
Yeah, it's
butterfly.
cocooning.
Okay, cool, nice, nailed that. And him like going, I like how they made that scary originally, and then they made it more scary when he's like actually coming out of it, and they do like the like ritual with like all gathered around him and like getting ready for the king.
That was so creepy.
So creepy. It was so funny. It was so awesome. And then the whole bit with the what's it called? Him getting the suit and him being the mayor and just running around and being,
Greetings, humans.
yeah, I'm the mayor. And then he's just like saying things expecting a reaction, and they're like, yeah, we love you, mayor. So
It was
good.
so weird, but
So weird.
that's what made it so much better.
Oh my gosh, what a phenomenal movie. You know what sucks though is I do want this to, huh? You look like you want to say something. Say it.
Finish your thing real quick.
I was gonna say, I think maybe if I watch this movie enough, it could be like one of my favorite Pixar movies ever. Because, can I be honest with you? I don't love a lot of Pixar movies. I like a lot of them, but like I don't love a lot of them. Like Toy Story was never my thing. I love 3. I think they're all great. I love 3, and honestly, hot take, I really enjoy 4. I don't think it's a bad movie at all. I think a lot of people that say it's a bad movie just think it shouldn't exist. But just because something shouldn't exist doesn't make it bad. Okay, 4 is fine.
Yeah.
Cars, I never liked as a kid. I still think Cars is I think it's boring. I think
it's cool.
I think it's fine. I'm trying to think of other Pixar movies off the dome. Bugs Life I do like. Incredibles, you know me.
Oh,
I'm not weirdly
Incredibles,
enough.
that's my
Weirdly
5.
enough,
Or no,
that's probably
2,
your 5.
that's
Yeah,
2, that's
I'm
2.
not a big Incredibles guy. I never have been. I've never even seen the second one. For me, it was always like as a kid, I loved Wall-E. I love Coco, and I love Onward. Those are my 3. They perfectly encapsulate my 3 phases because of timeline when they came out. Wall-E was my movie as a kid. Coco was a movie I watched when I was like 12, 13. I was like, dude, what an incredible movie. And then I watched Onward when I was 15, 16. I'm just like, dude, this is awesome. I was going through a lot when I watched Onward too. It's just like a really important movie to me. So like that's like my Pixar timeline. I'm not a big Pixar guy historically. I would love to do a full rewatch of everything.
Yes.
And like we really get into like what we think about this and that. Cause like Monsters University, I love so much. I think that movie's so good.
Monsters, Inc. Okay, we have to do it now because
We should talk about this because maybe I'll
Oh.
flip. Because look, I'm not saying Pixar movies are bad at all. I think they're awesome, and I understand why they're so incredible. I just was like never obsessed with them. I've never been obsessed with them. They've never been like my personality or anything. I love a couple of them. Wall-E is one of my favorite movies of all time. Right? It's the greatest love story ever told, and I stand on that. Okay, but I wish this movie I could like come out of it and be like, yeah, like this is it, because I think it's doing so much that I love. I just wish I were like related to it. Like I wish it had a character where I was like, dude, I feel that, you know. But a lot of it I was just like, yeah.
I really do a lot of it. But real quick, I know we just got serious, but what did you think of the shark?
Oh my gosh.
Like, what did you think about the shark?
Here's actually something I didn't say. I don't think I talked about in like my initial like non-spoiler like review. I loved how absurd this movie was in terms of like the concept, and it felt like it just kept escalating. Where it's like, okay, you already got weird, but it is kind of like Avatar with the beaver turning human, whatever. Okay, cool. And then it's like, okay, now here's the mammal king, but now you have like a bunch of other kings for amphibians, insects, fish, and birds. Cool. Okay, yeah. All right, now let's get even weirder and let's have them all work together to try and do the squish. The squish.
The squish.
This was just, oh my gosh. And yes, the shark scene was incredible. I thought it was so funny. I didn't really understand like what the whole like deal was with the way it was talking. I understand it's supposed to be like nice. It kind of had like, you know when it's about to bite the mayor and she's like, you might feel a biting sensation.
Yeah.
Just be ready, and then it'll proceed with death.
Yeah.
Like, I can't describe what that sounds like to me in my head. To me, I want to say flight attendant, but that doesn't sound correct.
It seemed like the Jet 2 Holiday Woman.
Okay,
It really
sure.
got
Yeah,
Holiday
okay, yeah,
Woman.
exactly. So funny. It was such an awesome. This movie is probably one of the most absurd movies I've ever seen because it was just so weird. When was the last time Pixar? I guess maybe Turning Red. I hear I've never seen it, but I know a lot of people say it's
Turning
really
Red was
weird.
crazy.
Like this
I
movie
liked it.
felt so weird, and but this time I guess people liked it because people didn't like Turning Red. I guess.
Yeah, they weren't bigger fans, but yeah, this movie, very absurd. That shark scene came out of nowhere. Like, me and the whole theater went, oh my gosh! Because I was thinking, okay, crocodile. Wait, that's bigger. A whale. A great white shark.
Like when the birds dive under too and they start slowly dropping.
When the music, suspenseful music came on, I went, nah, there's no way. I thought they were getting out the megalodon for a second. I was like, that would have been tough. I would have made this movie top 10, but I thought it was cool when the shark was in the air, swimming towards the car in the tunnel, and I was like, the birds are helping it swim.
It's insane.
Oh my gosh, these animals are nuts. It was just Animal Farm on crack. I just loved it.
I think the last scene, my last favorite scene was probably when they're like originally communicating with the mayor through the text-to-speech. So funny. When like she's like, hey, we're your friends. Hey, this, that, whatever. And then they all kind of go like, I want to say something. Beaver.
Potato, lizard.
So good. I thought that was awesome.
This was a really comedic movie, but I loved it.
Yeah.
I loved it.
Anything else you want to say?
please go watch this in theaters, please.
Dude,
please,
honestly.
please. Like this is one movie that I like. Not just Sinners. Like you have to go see Sinners, but this is a movie I need everybody to go see in theaters 1,000% in any format you can. Like,
You know what's
this
kind of
is
awesome is you don't even have to say that. This movie's killing right now.
Oh, it is.
Yeah, it's killing. I think it's the #1 highest grossing original animated movie of all time. It just beat Coco. So it's like, or at least for a weekend, I think. I think it's like for the weekend.
If it makes
Still,
$1 billion, I'm gonna be so happy.
that'd be awesome. So good for them. Good for Pixar getting a W. Good for Disney finally like letting Pixar just do the thing in theaters and not like have like I know they had Inside Out 2, whatever. But it's kind of nice to see Pixar on like that they're back. You know. Last thing I'll say, I hope they make more stuff that's original like this instead of relying on sequels. Because it's kind of crazy that like that kind of feels like what Pixar is now, is just the sequel team. They're doing Incredibles 2. Just got announced they're doing another Monsters Inc., which is cool. They're doing another Toy Story, obviously. I think that's next for them, right? That's this month. That's in July.
45.
Yeah, that's July or June. June. I don't know. It doesn't matter. Who cares?
Summer.
Who cares? People watching don't make a lot of money, and then people will hate it, but they don't make a lot of money, so... Yeah, so like good for. I want them to go back to doing stuff like this, doing stuff like Coco, doing stuff like WALL-E. I miss when they were the people that were like, let's do A Bug's Life, let's do Toy Story. Oh wait, now let's do Monsters Inc. Let's do Nemo. You know, like and they're moving around.
Finding Nemo.
And now they're like the sequel people, and that kind of sucks.
So many good Pixar
There's so many
movies.
good Pixar movies, so we'll do a rewatch. That'd be fun.
The sequel to 28 Years, which is promised to be a trilogy. We'll see if that still happens, but we'll get into it in a second. Phil, I want to give it to you. I always start. It's time for me to sit back. Let me chill out for a second. Okay?
All right.
Phil, what did you think of 28 Years Later, The Bone Temple?
Bro, this whole series has kind of really shocked me, just like you, because I know you literally just said you watched 28 Days and 28 Weeks Later. I watched it recently as well, but last year, and I thought they were really cool. I wasn't super in love with it, but I thought it was really cool. 28 Years Later, watched that. Very impressed with how it's shot. Very impressed with the characters. You mentioned that switch where it goes from, we're thinking it's going to be the father's point of view, Aaron Taylor Johnson, to the son's point of view, Alfie Williams Spike. And that wasn't Spike.
I love Spike.
That was very impressive. But this movie right here, 28 Years Later, The Bone Temple, the fourth movie in this series, very, very well done. Very well done. I loved how it started off the bat with like where we left off with the Jimmys and Sir Jimmy Crystal.
Jimmy.
But I just love how it gave me that dark feeling instantly. Like, I don't know why I was scared looking at these water slides when it's zooming in and you're hearing them in the background. I'm like, I don't know what is happening. I kind of don't really want to see what's happening at the start. And I was very right. That scared the crap out of me. Once again, my bad. I know we're not spoiling stuff yet, but the whole movie felt like it was different than 28 Years Later, the first one, but it still was the same. Like, and I was so impressed with that. And obviously it's probably because they had two different directors, but it still felt like it was the same director. It was all in unison, and I respect that. But I was so impressed with the dialogue in this movie. I was so impressed with Ray Fiennes, who I finally got his name right saying it. I was so impressed with Jack O'Connell as Sir Jimmy Crystal. I feel like Spike took a step back a little bit, but it was honestly not bad. It was very worth it. I feel like this movie, with 28 Years Later, we were trying to get back into this world that we left for 20 years, I believe.
A year.
No. I mean, like 28 years later, like that. Like, you know, from 28 weeks to 28 years. All right, my bad. Anyways, I felt like we were just getting back into it. We were trying to see where they are, who these people are, and how the area is. With this one, I feel like it was definitely mainly about the characters. It was mainly about knowing who these people are, what their motivations are, and we got to know more of the villain and the hero of this movie, and I loved it. Like, I want to get way more into it, but it deals with spoilers, so I want to hear like what you thought on your like spoiler-free takes.
Okay, let's start by saying this. I saw this tweet and I couldn't agree more. Dude, we gotta lock Kevin Feige up because like I always forget her name. I don't want to say it wrong. Nia DaCosta. Nia DaCosta, you are psycho. Insane direction this movie went in.
Oh my gosh,
she killed it. So I think you can already tell what I thought of this movie. I loved it. Like, I loved it a lot, actually. Like, sitting there smiling for most of the movie, actually. I just thought this movie, I love the direction it went.
Yeah.
I like the two different plot lines it gave, both being just as interesting as the other. And whenever you cut back to one, you're like, oh, I'm all in on this. Then you get back to the other, you were never upset. You were like, oh, yeah, okay, now what's going on with this? Love that aspect of the movie. You're right. Ray Fiennes kills it.
Yes.
Jack O'Connell, again, with, like, another psychotic role from him. Just kills it again.
He's unbelievable.
Jimmy, so good. You're right. Unfortunately, Spike takes the back seat. I love Spike so much in the first movie. Again, he was probably my favorite character. I loved him so much. I thought he was just awesome and just dope. And I don't know, dude. This movie was intense. I didn't expect it to go where it did.
Yeah.
I like the little bits of I think gruesomeness that we got, because I don't think there's a whole lot of it, but when it's there, it's like,
Oh my
dude, it's
gosh.
nasty.
I had to
you know,
look
it's
away from the
gross.
screen, bro.
Yeah, it's
I had
really,
to.
really gross. And I just really appreciate that. This movie, weirdly enough, isn't a zombie movie, like at all. And I think that caught me off guard.
Yeah.
You're not getting a whole lot of zombie stuff in this movie. And I think it's for the better.
Yeah.
Genuinely, I think it's for the better. Because I think there's only so much you can do with zombies and running away from infections and whatever. I like that this movie went in a completely different direction and
Yeah.
felt so different, you know? Interesting enough, I think the one thing I missed is Danny Boyle's like directing style. Like genuinely, I'm like, man. But I think Nia DaCosta does such a great job of giving this movie what feels like just so much more budget. You know, I think it was similar budget.
I don't know.
It might be a little bit more just because, again, camera stuff. But I think she adds a level of scale with her direction that I just really, really, really appreciated. And, dude, that third act is psycho.
Oh my
and it's awesome. And
gosh.
we'll talk about it in a little bit. But again, psycho, and I loved how this movie ends a lot. I loved how this movie ends. And I can't wait to see how part 3 looks, because I think we're in for a sleeper, one of the greatest trilogies in movie history. Like a sleeper, like one that people
Wow,
aren't talking about.
okay.
Because I don't think anyone's even really watching these movies.
Yeah.
So I'm just like, dude, why is no, like, sure, we have, like, I'm not going to sit here and tell you it's like going to be the next Lord of the Rings, Star Wars, but I am telling you that it might be, because I think these movies are incredible, genuinely. Look, again, it's the similar thing to 28 Days. I'm giving it an 8 out of 10, but a movie that I love damn near close to a 9 or a 10 out of 10, I just won't say it. Because I think I was expecting some things. Again, I was expecting a little bit more zombie. Wasn't a whole lot of that. I was expecting a little bit more horror. I didn't get really much of that. This movie didn't scare. Very little. I don't think this movie really tried to scare me in the way I was thinking. And yeah, again, it was what I wasn't expecting, but I still loved it. You know, I still loved every second of it. And I think this will be a year situation where I'll go throughout the year and I'll be like, nah, dude, I love that movie. When I really like that movie. And then I'll just like keep like thinking about it.
I
better
know
and
it's
better.
gonna be up there
Yeah.
for you. I know
Again,
it will.
fantastic movie. As someone who loved years, I don't know if I said this on the podcast. This was my probably, outside of Avengers, obviously, this and Spider-Man, this was, I think, my most anticipated movie.
Yeah.
I was really, really, really excited for it. And I would say it 100% hit where I was like, again, I wanted it to be like that 9, 10 out of 10 come on this, and it wasn't. That's fine. But if I was being realistic, like I expected it to hit where it hit for me, and I was just like so satisfied walking out of that theater. I was like, what a phenomenal movie. Yeah. Maybe I like this more, actually. Maybe I'm giving this a 9
I
out of
think you
10.
do,
I think I
man.
really like
I
this
think
movie.
you do.
I think I really like this movie. I'm going to give it a 9 out of 10. There we go.
It was impressive, man.
Yeah.
Like it really was. And are we allowed to
Let's
give
go
it some
full
more?
spoilers.
Thank
Let's do it.
God.
But really fast, really fast. I shouldn't say this on the podcast.
Yeah.
Stop watching right now and come back later, because I think you should watch this movie for yourself. Because I don't think it's... not to say that I think us talking about it in spoilers is going to ruin the experience, because I still think like we can only do our best to explain what happens. I just think everyone should do themselves a service to give this movie some money. Because I
Yeah,
need this movie to make more
please.
money, because it didn't make that much. It shot under projections.
I need the third movie.
I need the third
really
movie,
do.
man. And
I
if it
need
doesn't
y'all-
happen, I'm going to hate all of you.
I'm gonna be as mad as Thunderbolt's not doing that well, even though Thunderbolts, you know, to me, loved it. I'm gonna be as mad as I think The Wild Robot did okay, so
did.
I'm okay with that. I'm trying to think of another movie that didn't do that.
Regardless, if
Eternals?
you guys do this again, I'll hate you. So it's just important for me to
I
say.
will.
But let's get into spoilers, Phil. Let's talk about it. Where do you want to go right now? Do you want to take that? You want to talk about each character, like the 2 plot lines? What do you want to start, Jimmy or Ray? You want to
That
start
is
Jimmy
such
or
a
Dr.
tough
Ian?
one, bro, because I kind of want to talk about the Jimmies,
Jimmy's.
but like
Oh, he looks like a Jimmy.
I don't know. This one's tough because there was so much good, like Samson.
Yeah.
That you know what?
Yeah. You want to start with? Yeah, I think you want to start with the Doctor.
I was gonna say Samson.
I mean, I think the Doctor and Samson are the
You know
same
what? Yeah,
plot
let's
line.
talk about the Doctor and Samson.
All right, let's get to the Doctor.
Bro, like
You know that penis is fake? Again, not surprised. I was like, maybe it's
were
real.
you like looking at it for the longest time, going like,
I wouldn't say the longest
Nah.
time, but I
"Wait,
definitely.
it's moving, man. That's not real."
I definitely was like, no way, like no shot. You know. Anyways, I just have to say that really fast.
No way, that's real.
He kept it actually. The actor kept the penis. I forgot the actor's name. She Lewis Barry. He kept it. I saw that in an interview.
kept it?
He kept it. He kept the prosthetic. Really cool.
Bro,
I would too.
Wait, who kept the one from Nosferatu? Somebody kept the one
Ooh,
from
I think it
Nosferatu.
was
I don't think it was.
It wasn't Nicholas
It
Hoult.
wasn't. No, I think it was Nicholas Hoult.
Yeah, okay, cool.
Yes, it was
Yeah.
Nicholas Hoult. My bad. All of a sudden, we start talking about penises. My
Sorry,
bad, y'all.
my fault.
No. That was a pretty interesting conversation.
Anyway, let's talk about the Doctor. Again, weird direction that I wasn't really fully
Yes.
expecting. Like, it was a little funny, and I think that's where I kind of got the like weird Danny Boyle like whimsy of it all, where I was like, this is a really interesting, funny concept, where it's played really funny. But I think when you really start to like think about it and the direction it goes further, you're like, oh, dude, this is actually insane. He figured it out.
Bro, I'm not gonna lie. I really thought he was gonna be like some awful dude from the past who just changed his ways when everything went terrible. But then when you get into like he's done doing what he always does for the day, he goes down into his little bunker, and then you see the photos that are up on his wall.
Yeah, great set.
Oh
like,
my gosh.
Storytelling, I think, for sure.
You really feel bad for him at that point. Like that's when I kind of knew he was a good guy because they look like family photos of just
dude.
chilling, hanging out and stuff,
Just
and,
hanging out.
and just
Playing his music.
Oh yeah, the music was the best part
Great
of the stinking
soundtrack.
movie.
Great soundtrack.
I want to ask about that too. Were your speakers louder than usual when you were in the theater?
No.
Literally at the jump, I went to go see with my friend, and always going in theaters, and I always notice whenever like
It gets
speakers are
loud.
louder or something.
Yeah, I do too usually. Mine wasn't.
When the trailers were playing, everything just sounded so much louder, and I was like, "Why are they so loud?" Later, we'll get to that soon. You understand now why. But
Immersion.
I was just like, "Why is it so loud?" So whenever the music was playing, whenever he played his record player, his record player, it was so nice to hear him play like different music that he was in love with in the
Yeah.
past. Because obviously he's grieving from like.
Yeah. No, I was gonna say yeah.
Yeah, he's grieving from like a time he used to know. But it's just so cool to see him as this character who like kept his morals and just living in solitude like that. I'm just feeling so bad. But also those moments where he's just able to relive, I guess, through Samson, like relive a past he
Just
from
talking
before.
to people.
Yeah.
I think you can tell by Ray Fiennes' acting, like, so again, it's like the Rip conversation where it's like
Oh,
they show
man.
so much. You can tell just by the way he's acting that like, dude, this man really needs someone to talk to.
Yeah.
Like he just doesn't have anyone. So like here comes him, obviously he's trying to figure out how this whole virus infection thing works.
Yeah.
He gets that opportunity and it's there. Dude, Samson doesn't even talk to him really for the most part.
Yeah.
And he's just like yapping, he's dancing with him,
Moon.
again, really warmed my heart, genuinely. Like I was just sitting there, I'm like, dude, I love this Doctor so
Yeah.
much. And I think you get that in years. It's like that subversion, a very obvious subversion. Like he's not the bad guy, But I think it's played with like a level of, I think, care and that I just wasn't expecting. I think he's very quiet, and when he delivers lines, it's very like a lot of wisdom. Like this man's seen a lot, and I loved the whole him and Samson plotline a lot, and where it
Yes.
goes, and how spoilers, dude. He freaking figures out how this infection works,
Bro.
and he basically cures Samson.
That was so nuts. My eyes got like so wide when that scene played. Because when he said moon, I mean obviously like I was getting a little excited because I'm like,
geeked.
wait. So you're telling me the more drugs you feed these zombies, the more they feel human. Now how's it gonna work when you get them off the drugs? And I'm just thinking, all right, what can he do? And when he was like putting the pills together, going like, okay, like when he was thinking like you must be seeing something that like we don't perceive. It must be giving you an image that like isn't there. And I was like, how do you know that? That's crazy.
And what's interesting is they allude to that in the beginning of the movie too. When you're there's a scene with the infected, and I think it's Samson's character when like you get his perspective and he sees what looks like the zombies and he murders it. I thought that was really cool that like they show that scene. You're thinking, oh, cool director choice. No, like that literally plays a part in the film. Like the Doctor's saying that, and you're like, oh yeah, like he's right. That's exactly what's happening.
I thought that was so cool.
Really
man.
cool.
I really thought that was cool, but an even better scene. And I really like that. My whole theater, all of us, we just went. I sat up in my chair and I went, the scene where he's on the train.
Yeah.
And Brody says, I don't have a ticket. I went, and then literally when he starts just going ham on these zombies and when they bite him and he doesn't get infected again, I was sitting there with my hands in my head like, did I just see somebody get cured from being a zombie? Like I was thinking maybe he gets like a little bit of his sense back or something, but no, fully, I don't have a ticket. I was like, bro, the fact that they got the biggest, baddest zombie on their side now, or I can't even call him a zombie anymore. Samson. They got Samson on the side. Bro, I geeked.
I think
geeked.
what's really interesting, and this is a question I was going to ask, is do you think the direction of part 3 is we're going to cure everyone? Because I don't think so.
I think they could go that route.
They could. I just don't know if they will.
I think the only reason why is because this movie, it seems like it's pretty easy to stop the spread because they've kept it isolated on this like one spot. I'm still kind of confused on if France is taking over
because of weeks. I think that there's I think in years they say that they were able to take care of it.
Yeah.
They like kind of write that off. They're like, yeah, dumb.
Okay.
Like, we'll clean that up.
It kind of was dumb because, well, no, it's not really dumb because at first we didn't know we were going to get 20 years later. But no matter what, I'm just going to say France, whatever. It's not in the picture. Just having that small little area where it is infected. And then you had that scene where that soldier from 28 years later comes in talking about, oh, we're normal. This is my girlfriend. I have a phone. What's a phone? That was a crazy moment. Like, Mike dropped when he said, what's a phone? I was like, dang, bro, you ain't got nothing on this island, but they're isolated. So I think they can, like, go back to what they were. And I feel like that'd be good for this movie because I don't feel like it's mainly about, like, the zombie virus. It's mainly about the people.
Exactly. And that's why I don't know if they will go in that direction. I'm just more so curious.
That's another reason why when you pointed out, like, this movie wasn't really about zombies, I really do like that because I felt like I was way more scared of the Jimmies and people.
Yeah.
Because that's the thing I feel like mainly is what these movies are about. People are sick.
People hurt people.
Like, people hurt people. So I could see it where they do heal people or where they do stop the virus, but there's still going to be some bad people.
Yeah.
Like, it could be a thing where, like, oh, we stopped the virus, but there's still evil out there, and 100%. It's way worse.
And I think the only issue with that is with, at the end, Dr. Ian dying. I think that's where it gets a little bit more complicated, and that was hard,
Dr. Kelson.
Yeah, Dr. Ian Kelson, yeah, what?
I forgot that's his first name, but I was going to say Dr. Kelson, my bad.
I think that's where it gets a little iffy. Like, I don't know if that's going to happen, but that perfectly segues us into the Jimmies. So let's talk about some Jimmy for a second, you know?
Which Jimmy you want to talk about? You want to talk about Jimmy?
I want to talk about Jimmy.
I want to talk about Jimmy too. Did you like that Jimmy or this Jimmy?
I like all the Jimmies, man.
Yeah,
I like,
the Jimmies
they're all
are cool.
funny. Here's the thing with the Jimmies. I think that plot line, I think that entire section of the movie is so, this might sound bad to say, just so fun to watch. Like, it's really intense, it's nasty, it's gruesome, but I like how they do such a good job of getting into the headspace of Jimmy, like Jimmy Prime.
Yeah.
What's his last name? Jimmy Crystal?
Oh, yeah, you talking about Sir Jimmy Crystal.
Yeah, Sir Jimmy Crystal. I like how they really get into his character and his mindset, and it's very clear that all these people following him are just followers. You know, they're a little nutty too. Some of them are 100% like crazy. Yeah. You know? And I appreciate that because I think by the end of the movie, I feel kind of bad for him. Like, genuinely. I weirdly enough, I think because obviously in the beginning of Years, you get his origin. Yeah. Which was really interesting. Beginning. Yeah, very beginning of that movie, you get his origin. And what's made abundantly clear throughout this movie is that this character's kind of growth got stunted because of what he saw. Yeah. You know, like, his entire like life kind of betrayed him almost, and that's why he had to turn to this life of Satanism, where it's like these are evil people, like, and we have to support the evil because that's what's here and that's what's given to us. And obviously it comes into a lot of like the dumb, like, well, yeah, he's my dad, you know, and like that's obviously like just psycho stuff. Nick. Like that's old Nick, you know, and that's obviously just psycho stuff. But I think it makes him such a compelling character because there's that like psychotic part, like that psychosis, but not necessarily justified. But you're made to understand why he's the way that he is because of the beginning of 28 Years. So following through this movie, I'm just kind of like, dude, Jimmy is insane and psycho, and I like every time he's talking and he's like, you know, I can feel it. You know, he's talking to me right now. And you know what he's saying?
Like, oh my gosh.
Pain. I like the scene with him on his throne, and his throne is like the pool, like outside of the pool, and like they're all hanging out underneath on the pool. Like a really crazy scene, by the way, with Spike. And it's like they battle out, and he hits the artery, whatever. And I'm like, dude, poor Spike, man, this poor kid. But I think we need to talk about the scene in the house when they raid the people, and they sort of do the whole like the Jesus thing where it's like, hey, you're supposed to take care of us, you know, and all this stuff. Definitely not the same as what Jesus was doing. Let's just say that Jesus was humbly asking people, hey, can I hang out with you? This guy was just kind of going in and
he was like, hey, excuse me, pardon me, you got some porridge there? I'll take it.
You're gonna feed me. And dude, that entire sequence, I don't know how long that sequence was. Intense.
That was like 25 minutes.
Everything about
maybe
it.
20 or 25
Everything
minutes.
from them eating to what happens in the farmhouse. Dude. Poor Spike. Poor Spike. You looked away.
I had to look away. That was a tough scene to watch, man. I'm not gonna lie.
I did one of these. I was like, no, please.
I looked away, looked back, looked away, looked back, and then looked away at the last part because I just couldn't. Even hearing the like part where they're getting them, I was like, I can't do that.
Yeah, dude.
I can't.
It was a lot.
And that's not saying it's like, it is bad, but it's like it's not. It's just letting me know of like how bad these characters are.
Yeah, they're awful people.
And it's just crazy to say that was probably worse than anything I've seen in The Boys.
Yeah, I think it's.
I feel like, and that's the acting that makes it even better because they were
Yeah.
full blown crazy.
I think the difference between that and like the gruesomeness of the boys is one very fast, I think, and two very
Yeah.
comic booky.
Yeah.
This was very realistic and just like hardcore gruesome, where you're seeing all of it. You know, you see Homelander rip a guy in half, and it's like, oh, you can tell that's fake. You know.
Yeah, you're like, whoa, that was crazy. This was more like, oh my gosh, that's so terrible.
Yeah.
But I just really respect the actors for that. And you know, another person, Jimmy that I do want to actually talk about, Jimmy Inc. Erin Kellyman.
Yeah.
Or Kellyman.
Yeah.
She was phenomenal in this movie.
Yeah.
Like, I can't wait to see what like her and Spike do in the third one, if there is a third one.
There better be.
I hope. But she was very interesting to me because I kind of did expect a little bit more of us to go into her, but her just taking care of Spike and helping him was like all I kind of needed. But like even that scene where she walks on her own, like out to, I guess, explore.
Yeah.
And that zombie's coming towards her and she's not even flinching and she just goes straight, does a cool flip and then just goes on. I'm like, I wonder how bad her life has been where she just can't even react to a zombie coming towards her.
Yeah.
A zombie.
She's cool.
She
like
really
her.
is.
I like that they didn't get a lot into like who she is, but I like that she kind of seemed like a weird, even like voice of reason.
Yeah.
Like she was very much like, yeah, I'm not giving in to this whole Sir Jimmy thing. Like I'm well aware you're bull crapping, you know. And
She just needed protection.
I can't wait to see more of her and Spike in the third one. Because again, I think the one thing that upset me was, man, I wanted more of Spike. But
I was very impressed with the conversation between Dr. Kelson and Sir Jimmy Crystal.
Yes,
I was
dude.
very impressed. Like that whole sequence where like at first, like Brody's like looking over and he's like, yeah, that's old Nick. And then even she's like, what are you talking about? That can't be old Nick. And he's like, I'm gonna go talk with him. You all stay here. Like, just be careful. He probably wants to talk to me alone. Goes over. He's like, so who are you? And then they have that funny conversation where he's like, well, I'm an atheist. So that makes you a Satanist? They're just like going back and
I like
forth.
every time he says, "Are you old Nick?" And then he's like,
Who?
And like he like keeps asking, and it's like, "Oh, Satan." Is that who you're referring? And he's like, yeah. And I'm just, I think that entire sequence too is just phenomenal. I think a lot of the dialogue is just,
But then like him opening up about why he believes in him
Yeah.
and like what happened was really what I thought was really cool. Because once again, that beginning scene to 28 years later, crazy, but really cool. Because I mean, I'm sorry I have to say really cool, but it's like crazy to me that the first image or even a kid still trying to grow and one of the craziest images he's going to see is like his father, who was a pastor, taking the lead of all these zombies going crazy and killing all these people in a church. And it's like, that is, and in my mind, I'm thinking, that is a terrible image for a kid to have.
yeah, it's
and
like
then
that weird turn for him.
Yeah, and later to see that kid at the end of 28 years later be the head of all these Jimmys with an upside down cross. Instantly, right when I saw the upside down cross, I'm like, that is the kid from earlier.
Yeah.
And so to see that play out in this, and then even to hear him and to understand why he believes in Satan is because of that image there, because he believes that.
He's literally following in his dad's footsteps.
Yeah.
It's like the last image of his father is now exactly what he is, you know?
Yeah. It's just crazy that like how much trauma can like transform a person to even like change a person.
Totally. Yeah.
Like, and that was probably the most extreme way of it.
And I liked that reflection between him and the doctor, where they both come from two completely different thought processes. Where obviously, man of science, man of like a faith practice, whatever.
Yeah,
You know? And
man
I
of
just
religion.
think it's super interesting, like foil to each other. Where them talking to each other, they're so different, but their experience with everything is the same. They just like had different situations happen to them. You
Yeah.
know, and the way that they were able to like. The way they both grew up with it is just too different. I think one, the doctor being much older, him being a little kid, I think definitely plays in a part of it.
Yeah.
But I just thought that was so interesting how they give them that space for them both to talk to each other about what's going on,
Yes.
and you get to see both perspectives. And I just, again, it made me feel more bad for Jimmy because you're like, dude, like, a lot of this isn't something you like. I don't even think you genuinely think. You're just crazy.
Yeah.
Like you just have gone through so much, you know.
Yeah.
That you are the way that you are right now, you know. And that's hard, dude. That was hard for me to watch, and I felt really bad. Dude, this movie's so freaking good. Can we talk about them talking about the Teletubbies? Because I thought that was funny. I just like how enthralled they all were with the Teletubbies. Like,
Bro.
how many of them do you think they've all seen the Teletubbies, or do you think it was just Jimmy talking to them about the story of the Teletubbies?
That is such another good callback to the beginning scene of
Yeah,
20
'cause
years
they're all
later.
watching
Because
Teletubbies.
that was the first image. They were watching Teletubbies
yeah.
in that room when those zombies were attacking.
I like when he's explaining the Teletubbies. I was like, I never thought.
It's like they had TVs on their stomach.
on the screens and on the stomachs, and they'd watch themselves on
They all
TV.
do these weird
and then also
dances.
on the inside, they're doing the Teletubbies. Yeah, and then she's like, "Oh, do the dance, do the dance." He's like doing the dance.
Oh, stinking Jemima.
Yeah.
Like doing that. Or yeah, Jemima.
Yeah, whatever.
Whatever it
One
was.
of the Jimmys.
She was crazy.
She was crazy too.
Oh, when dude picked her, I was like, why would you pick her? I thought he picked Spike, and when she looked up, I'm like, are you an idiot?
Well, Spike wasn't in the room. Yeah, freaking insane. Honestly, I think that was not the right pick, but like it was probably in that moment the smartest pick. But dude, you wouldn't think like, man, she's the crazy one.
I'm choosing. She was sitting down, going like, rocking a little bit. I'm like, why am I choosing her?
She baited him.
That's what I'm saying. I'm like, I'm not choosing her. I'm choosing anybody else. I'm probably going for the. Nah, I'm not choosing Aaron Kellerman.
That was okay. By the way, and she also wasn't in the room too, so she kind of
Never mind.
Yeah.
I'm still not choosing
What
her.
was really awesome about I think that whole sequence was again gruesome, hard to watch, but I think the way it all turns on them was really cool. For the most part, turns on them. They basically come out unscathed for the most part. Some of them catch on fire.
I think
but that's
two of
fine.
them died. Homegirl got the hook to
Yeah,
her head.
yeah,
The other
yeah.
one got burned, like to death. I
Yeah.
think. Wait, did he die?
I don't know if he died. I think he died. It seemed like he died, but I was like, I don't
There
know.
was too many Jimmies,
Yeah, it's
bro.
too many
There
Jimmies,
was too many
bro.
Jimmies.
And I just again like I thought that scene was just insane. It was tense. It was crazy. I think when the guy's fighting Jemima, the other Jimmy,
Yeah.
and she gets his arm and like I was like no.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
That was too much for me. That was where I drew the line. I
That
like,
was the
no,
one?
No, because it's just enough. It's like all right, this is the rest is like all right. That's a little like over the
My
top.
arm's
It's
like
not-
freaking out now.
Yeah, I'm
even
like,
just thinking
stop.
about it, bro.
That was crazy. I loved that whole sequence. It was
Now,
great.
can we talk about the sequence of the movie?
Sure, what is-
Probably
Oh, yeah,
the
yeah, yeah.
stinking scene of the year so far, even though it just started. Dr. Kelson going
performance?
full metal.
His
bro,
performance is crazy.
That was crazy. Oh, also, did you catch that line when he called him the Dark Lord?
yeah.
Voldemort.
Oh.
Ray
well,
Fiennes is Voldemort. That was crazy.
Oh, well, I just
the Dark Lord,
well, they just refer
Voldemort.
to the Dark Lord as also Satan.
Yeah,
So
but
I
that's just
kind of
crazy
assumed-
that was.
I didn't make that connection.
Nia DaCosta knew what she was doing when she put
Probably.
that in the
She
script.
probably did.
Salute to you. That was awesome. But him coming out for a second, my friend looked at me. He goes like, "Bro, it's Voldemort," because he kind of looked like him. But then when he goes full metal, and I forgot the song that plays, that was exactly why the speakers were turned up in our theater. That was insane, bro. Like Ray Fiennes, I don't know how you have the energy you have. That was unbelievable. Like such the energy, and even like him, like the Jimmys getting it on it, going like, yeah.
Yeah, like when they all get really into
Bro,
it.
that
yeah.
was so like.
He knows how to throw a concert, bro.
I just like how like Jimmy Inc., Aaron Kellerman's character, she instantly was like, "It is old Nick," when he started like
Yeah.
going all crazy, and I'm like, "This is how you know these people don't know, or they're too young."
Yeah, it's like
to
the
know
very
what-
stereotypical, like what everyone thinks he actually is like.
Yeah, I was like, if y'all really believe that, I want to know what else you're gonna believe. Like, I could dress up in an Easter Bunny costume, and you'll be
Yeah,
like, Easter
hopping
Bunny.
around.
But it was just that was such a crazy scene, and I just fully respect Ray Fiennes for having that type of energy.
Gave us all, dude.
Like that was unbelievable. Like so good, so crazy. Like I didn't know he had that type of energy in him. That's why I'm just so impressed.
Yeah.
Even the camera work of that scene,
Yeah.
nuts. Like when he lit the fire in the ring,
Yes,
and
dude,
the
I
camera
love
goes
that
above.
overshot,
I was
yeah.
like, that was super cool.
really good shot.
But it was just such a very. The whole movie was well executed. The story was really good, and excuse me, sorry. I just really, really, really am more attached to these characters now.
Spike, dude.
Mm-hmm.
Spike. Can we talk about when he has the masks on and Ray Fiennes? So like Ray Fiennes is like, all right, your first commandment is kill people. Second commandment, listen to Jimmy. And then you're like, and then he's like, I didn't tell you to give another one.
He's like, wait, hold up. Everybody died in theater. And he's like, all right, chill out, bro.
Yeah. Like,
Chill out. You're doing too
I
much.
don't remember saying that. I like when he goes up to Spike and he like realizes that's Spike,
Mm-hmm.
and I think later it's kind of the exact same scene. Whatever. He hits him with the like, I think you've suffered enough.
Yeah.
Took me out.
Oh
I
my
like genuinely
gosh.
was like, Michael, like stop. Like that hurt, dude. That hurt because I think. Again, Spike takes a back seat in this movie.
Yeah.
But that kid has seen so much.
Oh, that is all we had. He had to do in that movie, though.
Dude, literally, this entire movie was just here's his trauma. Like this is just
Oh,
everything.
man.
Oh, it was so hard for me to watch. But
I felt so bad for him.
I
Every
did
time he
too.
wanted to go, like, I want to leave, and he couldn't. I was just like, oh man.
and that's what I'm saying is I love that scene so much with Ray Fiennes' character just being like, dude, you've gone through enough.
Yeah.
Like just get out of here. That's why I'm doing this is why I'm telling them you got to sacrifice poor Sir Jimmy over here, you know, because
I need a sacrifice.
yeah.
Jimmy Crystal.
And I love how Jimmy is just like, yeah, let's do it. Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it. Let's get on.
Oh yeah, Jimmy. She was like,
She's so excited.
She threw the knife.
Yeah, and Sir Jimmy's like, hold on.
I know you've been trying to do it for a long time. Back the hell up. And
Yeah.
I died in the theater when he said that.
I like that. I liked that turn, you know? And again, they just really well executed movie.
Yes.
And then with the final scene with like obviously him being crucified on the cross and he's like upside down and Samson shows up and gets Ray Fiennes' character and walks away. Just again, so good. So good. Jack O'Connell kills that final scene. Like
Yes.
you genuinely like, wow, dude, like you killed it. Good job, whatever. But we have to talk about the actual final scene of this movie. One that got me like a pop actually, because I had just watched them and I didn't know.
I didn't know either.
I didn't know at all. I was going to this movie just like I watched with my friend and he was like, hey, do I gotta watch the other ones? I go, you just gotta watch yours. Like you should be fine. Just watch yours. The other two I hadn't seen at that point, but I'm like, I hear they're great, so you should probably watch them if you want. He's like, yeah, I'll probably watch all three.
Yeah.
He only watched years actually. He only had time for years. So when that happens, when spoiler alert, Jim, Cillian Murphy's character shows up, I went, oh, you know, I hit the DiCaprio like, you know, like, yeah, I hit that, and I was like, that's crazy, what the heck? And then he has this daughter now, and I'm like, that's so cool. I'm happy they went forward with that. And this is why I wanted to bring up Days again. That makes the ending of Days so sad, because they never got saved. They never got saved. The whole time it's like they build the help sign, and it's like, hey, you think they saw us this time? And then it ends, and you're like, oh, I think they did. Yay, happy ending. That's what I told myself after I finished watching it. I was like, yeah, happy ending.
Because they're still at the house.
Yeah, and now they're still at the damn house. They never got found.
Oh my gosh, I'm just realizing that now.
Yeah, and I was like, damn, like that sucks. It sucks, dude. Genuinely, it's so unfortunate.
Gosh.
But I can't wait to see how they rope him in on this, because I think it's easy. Sorry, I'm on my phone. I'm pulling up 28 Days Later on my phone. I think it's really easy to look at an ending like this and be like, oh, cash grab. Like, oh, like we're going basic, whatever. And honestly, this franchise outside of Weeks doesn't do that. So I think if they're bringing back Jim, they're doing it for a good reason.
Yeah.
And with Spike showing up to interact with Jim, I'm like, yay, more Spike. You know, that's all I want, dude. I love Spike so much. My question is where, and this is what I was pulling up to you because I can't remember their names. Where's Selena and Hannah? Are they dead? Do we think they're dead? Do we think it's just a casting thing? Like we didn't want to pay for them, so we'll just wait for the actual movie to come out? I think probably.
I think that literally is something we have to wait on because, like I said, I thought that Cillian Murphy, I heard he was coming back, but I thought it was going to be for the third movie. I didn't know he was in this one.
I didn't know he was in them.
So, once again, that's the only other actor I heard about they were like really pushing to get back for this series. So, I don't know. I hope that more characters come back in 28 years later, the third one.
Yeah.
But it's complicated because I'm kind of fine with just having these four.
Yeah, same. I mean, I think you need Selena though, at least.
I would love her to be back, but I'm just so invested in Jimmy Ink's character and seeing how she
it might
can
get a little too bloated if they added a couple.
I feel like they would go away from her a bit. I feel like she would just be that protective character where she's going to be talking to the old character who was there, and then it's just going to be more of their story where we already know them.
Yeah.
I want it to be more of her. So maybe like Cillian Murphy can give us a story where it's like, well, they didn't live, and now I'm just with my daughter.
I just think that'd suck. You know, I feel like that'd be really like underwhelming. Where it's like, hey, like we end on this. What I thought was a high note, like they're saved. To just kind of be told that they were killed off screen is just a little unfortunate. I think.
Yeah, but I don't know. I just think that they're like Spike and Jimmy Ink. They're so interesting, and there's still a lot we could still learn.
Spike.
Where I am just totally fine with this group.
Yeah.
If there's more, I'm not gonna be mad if more characters from the past come back.
For sure.
I'm totally fine with just this group.
Here's my last thing before we close this. I was really expecting the third movie. This movie was very much Bone Temple focused, which, by the way, coolest place, I think. Probably like top 5.
And saddest, bro.
Top 5 coolest set things I've ever seen in a movie. I genuinely think the concept of the Bone Temple is so cool, and the way it looks is awesome. I would kill to walk around the Bone Temple. I would kill a person.
You literally would. So you could be like
Spike
and put it on top.
Yeah, perfect. I really want to like actually walk around that set. I think that'd be so cool. But I was expecting them to like delve into the island on the third one. Because I think the island, we talked about it when we watched Years, that's very obviously a cult. And there's something going on there that I would love to see more of. So look, I think with the third one, again, I don't think they go the healing all the zombies route. I don't think that's the direction they're going to go. I could see them trying to get off the island. I think that's more likely what's going to be the case of giving Spike the normal life, giving Jim the freedom that he's been wanting for the past 28 years.
Yeah.
And I guess we'll just have to see. But I'm really curious because I really want to see more of the island.
I was kind of sad that we didn't get to in this one.
I didn't think we would because of the trailers, but I think I want something from the third one. I think if they don't do it, I won't be mad. I'll just be like a little upset. I'll be like, man, I'm really curious to see what's going on with that. But I think when you watch Years instead, though, you get to sort of like do my favorite thing where you start like talking about like, ooh, what's going on here? You know, like you get to make little theories about what you think is going on.
Yeah.
Because I don't think movies have to show everything. And we've talked about that. Maybe that's the thought of this episode. You don't gotta show everything. And I really like when movies don't. I mean, it's the same thing of reason why like I like movies like Sinners so much. And we talk about spin-offs and even something like Weapons where I'm like, I don't need all these spin-offs because I like just sort of being able to like plug in the things myself and have fun talking about it, you know? I think when you show too much, it sort of loses that magic. And I think that island I would love to see more of. It's one of the few examples I would, but if they didn't, I'd just be like, you know what? I'll watch years and I'll be like, ooh, I wonder what's going on there, you know?
I don't know. I'm not saying I'm whatever.
Yeah.
But once again, like, I'm just glad I don't know what the heck is gonna happen in this movie.
Yeah.
I'm just so happy. Like, if it once again, please go see this movie in theaters. Like,
Do
I
it.
need a third one, and I need a bigger
Give it
following so
money,
that
give it
there
money,
are more
give it money,
theories.
please.
But I'm just really excited to see what they do.
Yeah.
I'm really excited.
Dude, I think this has potential to be a top 5er for the rest of the year. Maybe even top 3 for me, genuinely.
It'll be on there for you.
Yeah.
It's gonna make your top 10. I know it
will be.
is.
I think it will be, yeah. I really liked it. So, anyways, anything else you want to say on 28 Years Later, The Bone Temple?
Just please go see it in theaters.
go see it in theaters.
Please,
Please go
pretty
see it.
please.
You guys complain about not wanting original stuff, but when original stuff that's also kind of a sequel comes your way, you're like, I hate it.
Oh, reliable.
There you go. So, yeah, please go watch this movie. I want it to make as much money as it can. And yeah, that's it. Be ready for me to talk about this movie for the rest of the year.
I wouldn't be shocked. It was a good movie.
All right. That's another episode of the friend. Dude, I'm like, ready? That's another episode of the Film Podcast. We review films in the way that anyone can enjoy. Whether you're new to movies or a seasoned fan, you're in the right place. I'm Isaiah. That's Phil. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe on all the things: YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, Spotify for you audio listeners, TikTok as well. Thank you guys so much for watching. We'll see you later.
Peace.
Peace.